How is everyone doing? Welcome to the Cold Topic Podcast. I almost didn't do an intro. I am Sacrabalic, your envoy of hope. And I am here with my lovely assistant.
Oh, I'm John. I'm the guy that does stuff.
He is the guy that does stuff. Here in the exciting episode 8, John, what have you been up to as far as your streams going? Give me the recap on that. How you been, really, just in general? Oh, God, that's cold water on my hand.
First thing, can you flip me vertically? Because it looks weird on the stream to me.
Flip you vertically how?
If you just left click it and
you want to be mirrored?
Yeah. So it looks like I'm looking at the topic.
Oh.
Yeah.
No. But what we can do is we can put you in like the corner here, and I might be able to move the topic.
So what have I been up to? I've been I got back to streaming. So that's been a lot of fun. Pache's been playing Bloodborne with me, which has also been a lot of fun. We've been doing that.
No, this ain't gonna work.
That's what I was saying. Just flip it.
The issue with flipping it is that if we flip it, it's gonna be a mirrored image, so you're not gonna look like you.
No, just that's what I did for my stream. I just hit flip vertically, and it looks like I'm looking at stuff.
Okay, fine. All right.
I'm correcting blame.
There you go. I hit flip vertically, John.
Oh, I meant
you meant horizontal? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There you go. How's that?
Well, it looks great. Yeah. So back to streaming, so that's cool. Working like always because I just every time I look at this I mean, yeah, been playing Bloodborne. We played a little bit of Kingdom Hearts.
How has Bloodborne been going? I guess we'll go on Bloodborne for now.
I love Bloodborne. It's probably my favorite Souls game. It's more my jam because it's not as like
it's more
turtly.
Aggressive and less less planned. Yeah, I gotcha. I see a lot of people say that. I love I should say, the like slower, more thoughtful, like Dark Souls combat.
Yeah.
As opposed to the more like hectic, like rampage of Bloodborne. But I get people that I understand people enjoying the spasming.
It is spasming sometimes. I did knock a beast man into the floor, and that was really cool. And he just would not stop twitching. So that was a fun time. I mean, I love the Dark Souls games equally. They're equally as good. I just like the pace of Bloodborne a little bit more.
No, they are not equally as good. They are not. I demand you change that statement.
I meant gameplay wise.
No, they are not.
Fair enough. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's creepy. It's crawly. It's altogether sprawly. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been playing that. Other than that, I mean, I haven't really been up to much and stuff. How about you? What have you been up to?
Well, you said Kingdom Hearts real quick.
Yeah, we saw. I started the chronological order of games. So we started with Birth by Sleep. We're not going to watch the movies just because. Nah.
Okay, fair enough. I actually am watching the movies.
I've already watched them, and I'm like, I don't know if TOS 2 is another thing with them too. So it's like I'm just gonna skip them. I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen them.
Yeah,
you can go watch them online. I mean, if people wanted to see, we could just do a Discord night where we watch the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm playing the game. So I haven't played Birth by Sleep. I haven't played Chain of Memories, and I haven't played all of Dream Drop Distance. So I figured, what a way to play Kingdom Hearts in chronologically.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I get you.
Yeah.
How far did you get in Bloodborne?
So Pache and I have two characters. Both of them. I'm playing one on stream, which is a straight up arcane build, and I have another one that's a skill character that I'm way farther in. That I was actually playing earlier. I beat the one Reborn, and then I did Kaner's Castle, and then I'm in Nightmare Frontier right now.
Okay, all right.
So I'm gonna do Nightmare Frontier, then do the DLC, then do the Nightmare Mensis or whatever.
Okay, you're doing the DLC before Nightmare Mensis?
Yes.
Okay, you're probably going to be over-leveled for Nightmare at that point, because the DLC's level requirements are higher than the final bosses.
Well, I'm already over-leveled.
Okay. Ibridus?
Pache showed me a wonderful little trick to get echoes real quick.
Yeah, so. Ibridus? Chalice of Iz?
Yeah.
200,000 every half minute?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boy, is it great. See, I've taken a page out of your book where it's like, cheat until you win.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, I cheated.
There's an amazing quote that got added I didn't even like. Sometimes I'll say things because I think they'd be funny and worthy quotes, and they get added. But sometimes I'll also say something that I didn't expect to be quote worthy, and then I see it get added, and I'm like, oh, that's quote worthy. So it is. Let's see, where is it?
Fuck it, make your own quotes. That's what I always say.
Yes.
Nobody quotes but you.
Oh, here it is. Some may call this cheating. I call this creative winning. Quote number 25.
I mean, you're not wrong. And I'm fine.
He just did a random quote, and it was incest time.
Perfect.
So let's see. What have I been up to? I think since the last podcast, all we did was we finished Drakengard, including the DLC. We did not get through Ending D. Remember last time I said I don't think we'll be able to beat Ending D? I didn't manage to beat it. We had to give up after, I think, 4 hours of trying? Something like that. I gave up on the final boss. But I got further than you'd expect. I got like halfway through. Like the fight lasts like 6 minutes, and I got like over 3 minutes in. So I actually did decently at it, but I feel like if I tried for 4 more hours, I actually could have done it. Like, it's weird. I feel like I can do it with just enough time. I just didn't want to spend like 8 hours just grinding the final boss, because I feel like that's not super interesting to watch. So maybe one day I'll make a stream of it, or go back to replay all of Drakengard 3, because I don't feel like I brought the energy to that game that it deserved. So yeah. I actually want to redo that playthrough, just because I think I could put on a better performance for it.
No, that's understandable.
The other thing we've done is we've started up Maid's game request of Digital Level Saga Avatar Tuner 2, which has been pretty good so far. It's definitely better than the first game on like every level. Like they even improved like a lot of problems I had with the first game. It's not perfect by any measure, but it's pretty good. Personal life stuff, however, is what I will say, is that today I got a package in the mail. I got the Yu-Gi-Oh! Maximum Gold set. So it has, I think, like 4 or 5 like packs of Maximum Gold what do you call them? They're packs. Booster packs, yeah. It has like 5 Maximum Gold booster packs. And I got some cool cards. The most important ones I find is that I got the Premium Gold rare versions of Spooky Dogwood and the Premium Gold alternate artwork for Ghost Bell. It was also alternate artwork for Spooky Dogwood. So
yeah.
I know this is not interesting to anyone, but I'm excited, so I'm going to talk about it, damn it. So yeah, I'm looking at trying to get all the alternate artworks for the yokai girls, just 'cause I really love the fucking yokai girls. The biggest issue is this bitch on screen right here. Ash Blossom is expensive as a motherfucker.
My roommate has like 3 or 4 of those.
Ash Blossoms? I have one. And it's specifically this one, the alternate artwork one. I'm looking at getting the original artwork version, and I want to have at least 3, because you can only run 3 in your deck, and I would like to be running at least 3 Ash Blossoms.
Is that your deck?
Yeah, I'm not, because your friend actually plays competitively, so yeah, it would make sense he has Ash Blossom, because this card is super fucking good.
I believe it's actually in his deck, yeah.
I wouldn't be. I hear Ash Blossom might not be meta right now, but it's such a good card that if it's not meta in this format, it'll be meta in the next several formats. It is a really good card all around.
I think it might be in his cube as well too, because he does cube drafts.
But yeah. This bitch is expensive. And also, I found out I'm missing one of the yokai girls entirely, which is Ghost Mourner. I don't even plan on using her. I'm collecting the cards more than anything. Which is part of why, getting... Because I already had, a Ghost Bell and Spooky Dogwood. I already had them. But, getting them in Premium Gold Rare, it was really cool. You don't... if you look at, videos or pictures of Premium Gold Rares, they don't look, very good. But then you pull one up, when you're holding it in your hand, you're like, I was wrong. This fucking kicks ass.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, it's fucking great. Oh, I also got Kitchen Dragon Maid in gold, and I'm looking at getting most of the Dragon Maid sets outside of Chambermaid, because Chambermaid is $80. For the ultra rare version, or for the prismatic rare, and then Starlight rare is $230, which I am not about that life. You know what I'm saying?
No, fair enough.
So yeah, I'm just looking at collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards for funsies.
Well, that's always fun. I used to do that with Magic, but then I gave up on Magic.
Yeah, I came to the realization today when I was opening up Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which is that playing Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of like playing a gacha waifu game, except you get to keep your investment when the server goes down, and also you can sell the cards back.
Yeah.
So it's better in every way. So if you're really into gacha games, get into trading cards instead. And then
it's a good investment.
I mean, you can't Yu-Gi-Oh is probably 50% waifu at this point. It's 30% mechs, 30% dragons, 50% waifu. That added up to I think 110%.
I like these numbers though.
It's at least 50% waifu. There are videos and whole articles dedicated to why are there so many waifus? And there is a literal archetype just called Dragon Maid. Yeah, that was my Yu-Gi-Oh rant. I wasn't gonna get into the specifics. I just fucking love Ash Blossom. So
that's fair.
I even have Ash Blossom card sleeves.
So. I had sweet Mega Man card sleeves for my Magic deck. Big surprise.
The other thing I've been up to, we can get rid of Ash Blossom now. Goodbye, Ash Blossom.
Bye, Ashy.
Goodbye, my love. The other thing I've been up to is I have been obsessed with Today's Fight Club. For a week and I've been going nuts about it. It is basically all I have been thinking about. I have been working on D&D campaigns, watching anime, and thinking about this fucking Fight Club.
See, I had the debate earlier which shirt I should wear to rep, either Sailor Moon or Dragon Ball Z, but my heart went with...
I'm actually going to stop you for 1 second, John. I'm going to stop you for 1 second. I'm going to flip you back vertically. Fuck. Why did you say vertical? I'm going to flip you back vertically. And what I want you to do is we're going to count to 3. And then we're both going to stand up because I noticed something. 1, 2, 3.
Are we wearing the same shirt?
Yes.
That's really funny. That's really fucking funny.
I noticed this when you were moving around, and I was like, wait a minute.
That's a really fun Target. That's where I got mine.
I literally went to Target this week completely randomly, right? And I saw this, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy this just for the joke.
That's funny because my Sailor Moon shirt is also from Target.
This was not coordinated. I want to make sure everyone knows this. I didn't notice until the podcast started, and I saw him moving, and I just saw the Z on the shirt.
That's really funny. Maybe I should have worn my Sailor Moon shirt, I guess.
Maybe you should have, John.
Oh well, too late now. Maybe I'll after we figure out who wins. Maybe I'll switch.
Yeah.
after we have our break, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Have the break after the Fight Club.
Yeah.
All right.
That's pretty funny. Uncoordinated, but good times.
I think the fact that it was uncoordinated makes this even better.
It's funny. It's even funnier because it's the same shirt.
Yeah, we're wearing the same fucking shirt.
It's not like it's just like we're both wearing Dragon Ball Z shirts. It's the same fucking shirt.
It's the same.
Bought from the same goddamn place.
Yeah, I just randomly saw it at Target. I wasn't even going to the clothing aisle. I just saw it sitting there, and I'm like, now hold up. Am I really gonna buy a shirt just for this fucking Fight Club? Yes, I goddamn it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was great. All right, that was recap, I think. Which brings us on to recap part 2.
Yeah. Which is moving. Which is my topic, because I am very, very much out of topics this month. So in a few weeks, as of May 1st, I will be moving into a new place with the lady. We got an apartment. It's hopefully not going to hinder streaming at all. We'll see. I have it coordinated so I can actually take everything down and then hopefully be back on by that Monday, which I think, right? If I played it out correct, if I took some days off, yeah. So yeah, Saturday is the 1st. So I think I'd only missed a day or two, but that's what's going on. I'll have a brand new room.
What's this about Saturday the 1st?
That's when I'll be officially moved out and then into the new place.
Okay, yeah. So the podcast is already being postponed.
No, we'll be able to go that day.
Will we? Okay.
Yeah, we'll be able to go. I have it planned out. So I'm gonna be that Wednesday. Cool topic on a Thursday. What kind of bullshit? Yeah. So I have it planned out. I took that entire weekend off. So I normally have Wednesday, Thursday off. So Wednesday, Thursday, I'm gonna be moving literally everything here over there, and so it'll all be set up and stuff like that. The only thing that could hinder it if they can't get the internet set up in time.
Right. Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm thinking of, but I already have it all ready to go. So, because technically we can move in by the 15th. So what we're doing is moving stuff little by little. My stuff being last because I gotta stream and do this stuff. So basically, I'll be moving a couple things here and there. So, So by the 1st, we'll be good. Yeah.
All right.
But that's big news. Yeah. I have my own streaming / gaming room, so that'll be cool.
Oh, that is cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
nice.
You want to see my bed in the background? That's neatly unmade.
You will always see my bed in the background, which is always neatly made.
I made a bed. Okay, it does seem like a lot, but I made my bed for 4 years straight. When I lived with my ex, I just don't want to do it anymore.
I get you. I only make my bed on stream days.
Fair. See? Yeah. See, that's why I have this green screen, so I don't have to do that.
So that no one sees my sheets.
So I can just hide it. Yeah. Whatever. I don't care. I'm at the point in my life where I just don't care.
That's fair.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. So streams will be still going on. I'm gonna try to not miss too much time. It's really dependent on when they get over there and set up the internet. So we'll see.
Okay.
So moving on to Subverse.
Okay. Subverse is my topic. So I've been waiting for Subverse to come out, I think, for a few years now. Hey, babe, want to make out next dance? Mate, I assure you that my sheets are way worse than the fucking posters. I do want to take down the posters, though. I think I am moving past the posters.
I don't know. Those posters are pretty sweet.
Well, thank you, but
I got these sweet Nintendo things. You can't see them, but
I want to go bare wall. I think I'm getting more into the bare wall kind of thing. Yeah. So anyway, I want a bare wall. I want a wall made entirely of bear.
That's aggressive, and I love it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, look, you walk in, you see a wall made entirely of bear, your fucking panties are gonna be, number one, soaked, number two, on the fucking floor.
Dude, I'm moist already thinking of it.
Yeah, so, hello, bear wall? I'm on it. You know what, I wasn't really thinking about a bear wall, now I kind of want to see how much it would take to get a bear wall.
That's probably a lot of money, man.
Probably more than I'm willing to spend for the joke.
I don't know. Donate now to paypal.com/sacrabalic for the bear wall.
Yes, fucking donate for me so we can get you. We'll set up a donation goal for get Sack a bear wall.
I'll throw a couple hundred in there. Fuck it.
Anyway, I'm just a bear pelt just right on the wall.
I mean, yeah, that seems a little bit less aggressive, and still, it's pretty cool.
Were you picturing a wall made of bears?
I was picturing a wall made entirely of bears.
Oh, yeah. I don't think that's possible.
Skin, fur, everything.
Okay, I don't think that one's possible.
Little snouts and eyeballs sticking out.
Yeah. A corpse wall made of...
Basically, yeah.
Medieval corpse pile.
This is how you know I've been playing too much Bloodborne.
Oh, shit.
I'm thinking of stuff like that.
So anyway, Subverse is a game that I think was originally on Kickstarter. It's been coming out for a few years now. I've been kind of looking forward to it, and it is the maiden voyage of Studio FOW. It's a sci-fi game that takes place in our universe, but in a different galaxy. Basically, what happened is Earth is super cool and highly advanced, and I think in a way it's almost implied that Earth is probably like that civilization might even be the most advanced. But it doesn't matter because it's in a galaxy far, far away, and we shot a bunch of prisoners into space on a ship, and then they ended up getting sucked through a black hole on accident, and they ended up in this shitty universe, this shitty galaxy that this takes place in. You think we shot him in there on purpose? Maybe. Anyway, so what ended up happening is the prisoners on the ship ended up in this galaxy, which is ruled by like psychic people that live for like thousands of years old that are all like religious zealots and shit. And they're like, wow, these humans suck. They're called solars in this game. These solars suck. So they shove us. They shove us all on one planet, and we're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make the rockinest planet ever. And so we create a planet. Create a planet called New Vegas. N and U with an umlaut Vegas, that has like sex, drugs, and rock and roll galore, and it ends up becoming a sort of cultural center. They're elves? No, they're like psychic people. Elves aren't psychic. They're like mind flayers, I would almost say, from D&D, but not really. Like Powsy, kind of. It's hard to describe what they are. I forget what the name of the race is. Anyway, it becomes a major cultural center, and the like leaders of the galactic government get really pissed off, so they like blow us the fuck up. So we're going almost extinct now, and they've been like manipulating politics so that like humans are slowly going extinct. And
sounds relevant.
Yeah, and so you are like an old military vet that has become a smuggler. And you like jacked this like sexy robot lady. And here. I think her name is Demi or something. I'm not gonna get into the names of the characters because I don't remember most of the names of the characters. But you end up getting contacted by like an old hacker friend who you fucked over, who almost tries to kill you, and you get drafted into basically a conspiracy to overthrow the galactic government. And while that's going on, you find out that one of your main supporters, who's in the Senate, is also kind of getting with the queen of the galactic government, who took over from the previous evil queen that keeps trying to genocide everyone. She genocides more than just humans. That's why I said everyone. And you end up like making a deal, and don't remember the names of the characters. Sounds like a bad game. I don't remember the names of most characters in most games. So I don't bother to remember. I'm really bad with names, and 90% of the time I don't bother to remember most characters' names in most of anything anyway. So don't take that against the game. And yeah, so while that's happening, there is also you're in this like government conspiracy. You end up teaming up with a group of pirates who are the enemies of another group of pirates who are trying to kill you. And then there's also this a character that the game is very clearly trying to make out to be the main villain, but I actually think your like co-conspirator in the actual government is going to be the real main villain, called General Blythe, who's like this badass like military vet chick in what appears to be like a horrible sci-fi murder ship. Like ran by a bunch of monsters. The gameplay itself is actually interesting. It's fun. It's not amazing. There's two basic divisions between it. It's space battles, which are sort of like a 3D. I think they're called twin stick shooters. And then there's like ground combat, which has a slight strategic bend to it. And you can take your crew members as like co-pilots while flying in space, and as like the main ground forces while you're in while you're fighting. I'm googling images as we speak. You describe this as sounding like an old 80s cyberpunk novel, but these pictures look like a sci-fi hentai game. Well, that's because it is a sci-fi hentai game. But anyway, back to the gameplay, right? So here's the biggest issue with like how the gameplay functions is you can choose your co-pilot when you're flying through space, and you can choose basically between either the Doctor or the Pirate. And the Doctor's like secondary missile attack is a long range like beam of energy that hits enemies and with a slight homing effect. And the Pirate's is like this spread shot like higher damage attack. So the issue is that like the Pirate is like way better in space combat because of the higher range and like the fact that it can hit more targets and do more damage. But on the ground, she fights in melee, and the Doctor uses ranged, and melee sucks in the game because you can open yourself up to a counterattack every time you use a melee attack. So it's weirdly balanced in that regard, but I feel like it's unintentionally balanced, if that makes any sense to me, to you.
No, it does, yeah.
It has a lot going on plot and lore-wise, and there's a lot of plot threads going on. Almost too many plot threads, I would say, because it almost feels like they jammed too much in just Act 1, and there's too much going on. I would have liked a little bit more of a drip going on. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of interruptions to, like, slam through all the plot lines.
You talking about Kingdom Hearts?
I'm talking about Subverse.
I know.
This game handles its plot threads way better than Kingdom Hearts.
They have it planned out, that's why.
Anyway, Subverse, really good. Recommend it. It is early access. It'll be more expensive when the full game comes out. Act 1 is out. It's a pretty sizable piece of content. I've already played for 8.5 hours, just getting through it.
Gotta hate when pornos have plot. Me too. I'm just here to crank.
And yeah, so Subverse. Check it out.
Check it out. You heard the man.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, is it on Steam?
It is on Steam. Yep.
Dope.
All right, moving on.
All right, now next topic is VR games. That is my topic.
Pache, I play everything for the plot.
Everything for the.
I don't know if anyone has noticed. I legitimately play everything for the plot.
I mean, yeah. I mean, plot's good when done well, and not a mess.
Now, if you're going to ask me if the sex scenes are good, sure. Hardly my focus, though.
Get it? Hardly? Huh. Funny jokes. I'm good.
No, I actually thought it had a really interesting development history, and I wanted to see how well the game would do. Like, if we're being real, that is why I got it. Like, I actually legitimately got it for the game.
How much was it on Steam?
Like $20 or something, but it'll probably go up to more once it fully releases.
Well, that's not
bad. 30. $30.
Okay.
Yeah, but they did say it will be going up once it's fully out. Which, to be honest, yeah, it's a pretty good, like, getting in now on a cheaper price. The game's animation quality is very, very good. Rough around the edges in places, but definitely worth checking out and getting in, assuming it like maintains this level of quality. So
maybe I'll check it out myself.
You should.
So yeah,
bring the
VR
lady
games.
friend. Ooh.
All
right, VR.
Yeah. I've been playing some VR games, and it's a lot of fun. I've had this Oculus Quest for like 3 months now, and I'm finally able to use it. So I got this beast. I need to get the better head strap for it, but yeah, I was playing Skyrim in VR, which I'm sorry, it's Skyrim. It's Skyrim, but in VR.
Skyrim is fucking broken, and I have seen VR playthroughs of Skyrim, and they're somehow more broken.
They are, and it makes the game way. You can also mod the VR Skyrim too, which
to make the game more broken.
I haven't done it yet, but I've been playing that just because I wanted to get a feel for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun, it's Skyrim. Just Skyrim. You played the game.
I have.
Everyone's played the game. It's just
100%.
Skyrim, but you walk around in VR. The controls actually feel good though. That was the one thing I'm like worried about when it comes to VR is like the controls and how everything actually feels. Skyrim feels pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Like shooting bow and arrows feels great. The magic feels good. Combat with sword and shield and everything feels good. So I really enjoyed that. I also started up Half-Life Alyx the other night. Pretty good so far. You can break basically everything in the game, which is really. I spent an hour. I haven't even shot a gun yet because I was just going around picking up everything and just breaking it just because I can.
Just slamming down a wall with a sledgehammer.
I haven't even got a weapon yet. Like, I literally when you go into this apartment like in the beginning and like talk to I think it's your dad or whatever. I can't remember. Even though I just played it yesterday. And I just, while he was talking, I was going through and picking up everything and just slamming it on the ground, just breaking everything. And then there's markers too, so I was just drawing dicks all over the window. So that was a lot of fun. 10 out of 10 would recommend drawing dicks on the window while that guy's talking to you because he talks for like 3 minutes. So find stuff to do while you're doing that. Control wise, it doesn't have like the walking like Skyrim does. It has like that teleport. Which, I mean, it is what it is, but I'm not a huge fan of that. I'll update more when I play more of it, but pretty cool. Wish I had money for VR. It's pretty cool so far. Like, what other games did I tried? Tried The Forest. That game sucks. I hated it. What else did I tried? Skyrim. I did that. I played the Darth Vader game too. That was cool.
Did not know that existed.
Yeah, there's it's exclusive to Oculus. There's 3 Star Wars games called Darth Vader Immortal. It's 3 parts, $10 a piece. So $30 to get a full game. I don't know why they didn't just release it all as one pack. They're very short though, I will say that. But the story stuff is short, but they also have like a lightsaber dojo thing that's really cool where you like actually fuck around with the bot and stuff like that. That is pretty damn good controls too. I like that a lot. There's also this game that I got for like $10 too that was called like Wizards. You just like cast magic and stuff like that, but you do like actual motion controls with it. Pretty cool. I like that too. So I haven't beat it. The thing about VR, I don't know. I'm still getting used to it, so I can't play for super long, which kind of sucks. I also have a bad habit of eating right beforehand and then playing, which you're not supposed to do. So I start feeling a little sick. But I definitely recommend it. It's fun, you know. I played a little bit of Flight Simulator in VR too, and that was cool. Flight Simulator is my.
Oh, that seems like a great VR like idea.
It is so good.
That seems like the optimal thing to put on VR.
Oh yeah, 100%. It was kind of annoying to set up, but when I got it working, because I had to play it through Game Pass, so I had to kind of like do a loophole to actually play it in VR. But I mean, it was a lot of take how much you paid for your VS and multiply it by 6. That's much of cost here. Country goes around $5. So damn. Yeah, because I paid what $300 for my headset. So yeah, no thanks. I don't want to pay that much.
And no thanks to paying $300 for a headset either.
It was one of those things like it was like you couldn't find it anywhere, and then I found one in like Connecticut, and so I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna like go to the store that we have in Connecticut," but I just drove past it, grabbed that, and stopped at the store and grabbed the random phone just to grab it, like whatever. But it's all right. It's worth it. It's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend it. I haven't found any. I mean, the Forest I think just is a bad game in general, but I mean, playing in VR was okay.
I used to be really interested in getting the Forest because when I was a kid, I always wanted a game that kind of threw you into like a real survival situation.
Yeah,
where you have to like gather resources and like get out using those resources. And the Forest was one of the first games to do that once like Minecraft like came out, which is why I used to love Minecraft so much. But now there's a bunch of games that do that. So I have other options besides the Forest. So I also just never ended up getting the Forest.
I picked it up for like $9. So I mean, like it was like whatever. Mm-hmm. Megan wanted to play it, so that's why I was like, you know what, whatever, I'll grab it. But fuck, the building in that fucking game is just awful. It's bad. Everything about that game is bad. And when you break items down too, you don't get them back, which I hate. I know it's a small thing, but I just don't like that. If I want to move something, I shouldn't have to go break it down and go find the same crap again. I should be able to break it down and move it. But you know, wasn't for me. I mean, it was kind of cool. I think they put too many enemies on the map at the same time, even for I think we were playing on normal.
Like, that was your mistake. Always easy. Always easy.
I think that was easy. I don't think there was a easier difficulty. I don't remember, but I mean, that's probably the worst game I played in VR so far. I still haven't tried Phasmophobia yet, so eventually I'll play that. Yo, Mac T, what's up, dude? But yeah, I recommend VR. It's fun so far. If you have a computer that can do it, get it.
Mm-hmm.
Try it out. You know, if you want to throw down the cash for a headset, you can normally find them on like Facebook Marketplace too. If Facebook is your thing, thought about getting a Quest 2, but the whole tied to your Facebook account thing turned me out super fast. Yeah, I mean it is what it is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna get the Vive, but it was like $600. But I was like, you know, the Quest 2 does everything I needed to do, and like, if I ever do want to upgrade, I'll just sell that and get a new one. But I mean, it's a good starter headset. It's good. It's good for a starter headset. So like, kind of ease your way into it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like VR. Doesn't really appeal to me.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to say I don't see the point. It just doesn't. It doesn't get me, you know what I'm saying? Like, it feels unwieldy and awkward.
It definitely does. It definitely does at first. Especially because, like, I have the standard headset. That's why I want to get the better one, because sometimes it, like, doesn't sit right, and especially if you're moving a lot.
That's a solid question.
Yeah. Would you suggest VR to the physically disabled? It depends on the amount of physically disabled meant. I don't know how to phrase that. It depends. It really depends, you know, like it does, like, you can do a lot of stuff stationary, which I think is really cool too. You don't have to be standing for all these, like most of these games. So I think that's really cool that they did that. Yeah, I Pachi said about it. Depends on the degree of disability. Yeah, I can't speak, but yeah. So I mean, like, if somebody was bound to a wheelchair and they couldn't stand up, you can still use a VR headset. There are like certain games you don't need your hands for either. There's like roller coaster shit and like a whole bunch of other things you can do in VR. Game wise, obviously I have to use controllers and stuff. I mean, it really depends. I mean, like Xbox came out with that peripheral too for physically disabled people too. So I mean, maybe in the future they'll come out with something too. Let me shove some words in John's mouth. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I can't talk, somebody's got to do it for me. So I mean, I would recommend it. Like if somebody, like even if somebody was in a wheelchair and they're like, "Hey, I want to try this out," I'd be like, "Yeah, you can." Like a lot of the games you can play stationary in the sitting position. So, they could, yeah. VR is even more gimmicky than stuff like the Kinect. I bought the Kinect when that came out, and the Kinect was like the worst.
I did not get my Xbox until the Kinect was removed.
Fair. I bought the Kinect specifically because I wanted to play the DBZ Kinect game, and boy howdy,
Isn't that game terrible? Yeah.
It's fucking awful. It is so bad. It was so bad that I, in fact, went to GameStop the next day and said, "This stuff doesn't work. I want a refund."
There is some really, really bad Kinect and Dragon Ball games.
Yeah, that's. I like my Kinect because dance games. I mean, if that's your bag, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a dancing guy. But hey, if that's your thing. But I use Wii games. Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel like the Wii was perfect for shit like Just Dance and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like Switch too, yeah. But Kinect, oh my god, it was so bad. It was cool for a little bit.
Here it can't see people with darker complexions either. Like it has trouble. Like it can't distinguish them from the background.
Yeah, I think the coolest feature it had was the ability to just be like, "Hey, turn on," and it would turn on. But I mean, just grab a fucking controller and turn your Xbox on.
I would say that the coolest thing the Kinect had is that it's a really cheap motion camera, and that's why it's used by college students for cool projects.
Oh yeah, that's right. The Kinect is very super. Yeah, I mean, we didn't say it here, but
yeah. But I have heard people say it who can't use a fucking Kinect because their skin's too dark.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't recommend Kinect, but I would recommend VR.
Mm. Depth sensing, yeah.
Yeah. Which, I like my living room at the time, like that was like, how old's my kid? She's 10. That was like at least 9, 8 years ago when I had that, and I had like a pretty decent sized living room, and the TV was only maybe 8, 9, 10 feet away, something like that, and it still had trouble picking me up. But yeah, enough. I didn't think I'd talk about the Kinect tonight, but
everyone always talks about the Kinect. If you're not talking about the Kinect, what are you doing?
I mean, if you want to talk about terrible peripherals, I have a whole list of Nintendo ones we can go through.
Virtual Boy.
Oh, there's worse than the Virtual Boy.
I'm sure. The thing about Nintendo is it just loves throwing its dick in beehives.
So yeah, so the Power Glove, yeah. So not only did Nintendo make some terrible peripherals, but other companies also made some exceptionally terrible fucking peripherals, like the Rock and Roller. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's literally a board that's probably like yay big that you stand on and you rock side to side, front to back to control your character, and it never works.
I thought you were going to bring up the fact that Nintendo sold literal cardboard.
Oh, what the I love AVGN. I actually just started rewatching AVGN. I was going to talk about AVGN tonight, but I want to watch the entire series and like do like a full series review on it.
Talk about AVGN in one of the later topics. Because
I'm going to wait for it. Yeah.
Well, no, because there's a fun little factoid versus one of the topics we actually have on here related to AVGN.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I could talk about it a little later. Yeah. U4. I actually had a U-Force. I actually, unfortunately, just parted ways with it 2 days ago. RIP U-Force. I had it in the box and everything. That thing worked kind of. I'll give it that. It worked kind of. The only game it worked perfectly for, weirdly enough, was Top Gun for NES. Which is also a terrible game itself. So that's not saying much. But yeah, that's all. That's all I really have to say about VR games. Way off topic, but I can talk about NES peripherals all night because I know way too much about them.
All right, we moving on.
Moving on.
All right,
to the penultimate Fight Club.
Is it the penultimate Fight Club?
I don't know.
Get fucked, Fight Club. 3 episodes, bitch. Putting a bullet in it. Welcome to the penultimate Fight Club. We're only doing one more episode. We got canceled.
Mac, I do remember how you hyperscan. As some people call it hyperscam, but I do remember that.
Oh.
I love the Fight Club soap in between them. It looks so good.
All right. So here we are, Fight Club. I have been obsessed with this fucking Fight Club for a goddamn week. We have Kakarot oh shit. You're still flipped horizontally because you insisted.
No, I'm flipped the right way.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, we're both wearing the same shirt unintentionally. I love that.
Yeah, which is Kakarot / Son Goku versus Usagi Tsukino / Princess Serenity / Sailor Moon. And yeah, so this one was yours. So normally we would speculate as to why the fuck this matchup came up. But what I will say is that Son Goku is the strongest anime character in history by far, and possibly the strongest fictional character ever. So what the fuck were you thinking, John?
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to see Goku go up against someone that he normally wouldn't. You know, he likes to fight aliens, but when does he really ever fight women? Except for maybe a couple times. I mean, no, it does.
He fought literally 2 during the Tournament of Power, and then they merged into 1, and then he fought one person that was 2 people.
That's right. I forgot about that. We'll get to that later. I can't believe it actually. Okay, so he's done it once / twice.
Didn't he fight Ribrianne for a bit?
Who?
Ribrianne.
Oh yeah. See, I'm
pretty sure he fought Ribrianne also.
I don't know why, but I was thinking exclusively DBZ. I can't remember one time he fought a woman in DBZ. Dragon Ball, yes, but not DBZ.
Yeah, no, I was thinking. I was gonna say 18, but no, he had heart failure during that fight.
Yeah, he never confronts 18.
Yeah, he had a heart attack. I don't think he ever met 18 during that fight.
No, I did not.
No, not during Z, I don't think. Maybe you got me.
Actually, that wouldn't be a bad fight either. I actually have a theory for Yugi, but I have another one that maybe possibly we can do that. I didn't leave Yugi out of it, but
fun fact about specifically Atem the Pharaoh. It is confirmed in the final duel versus Yugi versus Atem that Atem can, in fact, you know the heart of the cards? Atem can, through pure force of will, decide what card he is going to draw next.
That sounds like cheating.
It really is! So every time he was like, I gotta trust in the heart of the cards, and then he pulls up a card, yeah, it's revealed in the final duel, when Atem just, like, draws a card and just sets it face down, and they're like, he didn't even look at it, and then it's like, that's because Atem can use his force of will to decide what card he'll draw next. And I'm like, wait a minute! Has this motherfucker been doing this the entire show?
Yeah, that motherfucker cheating.
He can literally just pick what the card is.
Boy, if I did that, I would have won way more Magic tournaments. Let me tell you. But
if you had Atem's ability to pick your card.
Yeah, I'd win every match because
Which,
I
first off,
never draw the card I need.
shout out to fucking Yugi for beating that cheating asshole.
Shout out to his family.
Oh shit! Yeah, I just had to reveal that nonsense that I found out when I rewatched Yu-Gi-Oh.
I've never seen. I've actually the only Yu-Gi-Oh I've ever seen is the abridged version. I've never seen any of Yu-Gi-Oh. Sue me.
It's not worth watching, but
Yeah,
but we can talk about Yu-Gi-Oh at a later date. Right now, we got to talk about Usagi Tsukino versus Kakarot.
Yeah.
So the specific requirements for this were peak Goku versus peak Sailor Moon. And we had a bit of a debate whether Autonomous Ultra Instinct is stronger than Super Saiyan 4 or not. In preparation for this, I watched every episode of Dragon Ball Super and the Broly movie. Just to make sure, that I was prepared for this. And after finishing it, I'm actually we decided Autonomous Ultra Instinct probably was stronger. After finishing the show, I'm actually no longer convinced of this. I suspect Super Saiyan 4 might actually be a stronger form. Here's the thing. I only researched Autonomous Ultra Instinct, so I don't fucking care. We're using Autonomous Ultra Instinct because it was the one I researched.
Yeah, so that's like the hardest part of this is because since GT is not canon.
No, no one has ever said that. No one has ever said that other than Christopher Sabat.
Yeah, that's why I'm using the air quotes because a lot of fans would be like, "Oh, it's not canon. It doesn't matter." I think Super Saiyan 4, especially Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
Oh, Gogeta is the strongest fucking character. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, so it's funny that you bring up Broly because, spoilers, Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta is in that movie. And I mean, it's really hard to gauge whether I feel like Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan 4 are on the same level. That's what I feel. Because I feel like Ultra Instinct is a step up just because it has the autonomous part of it where he's basically just moves.
Yeah, it has a better sub ability.
Yeah, like the defensive style of it too. Power wise, I mean, he fought Jiren, and Jiren's I don't know if you can't really gauge if Jiren's stronger than Omega Shenron, and Super Saiyan 4 Goku got his ass whooped by Omega. So, I'm like personally, we'll just go by what obviously Ultra Instinct's going to be the strongest version of him, just because it's got to be. I don't know, and unless there's some alt world where he fights Omega Shenron, there's no way to be sure.
There probably is in Dragon Ball Heroes, but Heroes,
That's true, yeah.
Heroes of all things is not canon.
Yes.
So.
Do you love
I have not seen GT in like 10 years, is part of the reason why I'm no longer sure whether Autonomous is... I'm just going to call it Ultra Instinct right now. Just assume we're talking about Autonomous and not Ultra Instinct Sign. That's why I'm not sure anymore, now that I have finished it, if Ultra Instinct is actually better than Super Saiyan 4. Just because of the way the settings work, I feel like even if Ultra Instinct is intended to be stronger, it might have better feats with Super Saiyan 4. Just because of how GT worked, about being like a space bop. Whereas, like, the things we can prove Ultra Instinct can do are a lot less than what we could be able to prove when Goku's out fucking around in space.
Yeah, it's really, like, especially, like, manga-wise, I don't know why I said manga. Like, he just, what the fuck's the guy he just fought?
Moro.
Moro. I mean, he did some crazy. I read a little bit of it, and he does some crazy ass shit in that. And I mean, this new arc that they're doing now with Granola, which God, that's a shitty name. I mean, it looks like
cereal.
I mean that stuff's I just want them to make this into the anime so I can watch this shit because don't get me wrong, I love comics, I love mangas. I don't know why I keep saying mangas. but I just don't want to sit there and read it. I want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see it. Like that shit with Moro was like just got ridiculous at the end of it.
Well, that is one thing I want to say is like, I don't know if Super Saiyan 4 is better than Ultra Instinct. It very well might be. I didn't research Super Saiyan 4. I have not seen Super Saiyan 4 for like a decade. So we're definitely not using that one. And as for which one we are using, I would say up to the Broly movie.
That's fair.
For Goku feats and none of the manga feats. Because the issue with Dragon Ball was from Super onward is it becomes impossible to tell what is canon anymore.
That is true.
So I don't fucking know. So we're gonna say anime up to Broly is what we'll be using for Goku.
No, that's fair. Yeah.
As for Sailor Moon, peak Sailor Moon is, believe it or not, even harder to figure out. But as our resident Sailor Moon expert, so undoubtedly Sailor Moon's strongest incarnation is known as Sailor Cosmos. Sailor Cosmos is a like fundamental component of the cosmos, like inseparable from it, like time or gravity. Basically, she's a cosmic entity. It is implied that she may have created the entire multiverse, and she does possess the Lambda power. So your specific statement was peak Goku versus peak Sailor Moon. So let's just do this one really quick. Here's peak Goku versus Sailor Cosmos. Here's Ultra Instinct, Autonomous Ultra Instinct Goku versus Sailor Cosmos. They both power up, because they both do that. Goku, Ultra Instinct swagger walks towards her. Sailor Cosmos disappears. Goku disappears, Sailor Cosmos reappears, and then she goes to have ice cream with her husband and daughter, because Goku's entire race was just wiped out before he was conceived. And if what you're thinking is like, oh, in Dragon Ball, that would just create an alternate timeline. Fine. The fight starts, she waves her wand, Goku is teleported to the end of the universe. Like, to get Dragon Ball fans a general idea of like the shit Sailor Cosmos could do, it's like if she was in Dragon Ball and Zeno destroyed the entire Dragon Ball multiverse, Sailor Cosmos would survive it, and then she would be able to bring back all 18 universes. Like, like a fight between Ultra Instinct Goku and Sailor Cosmos isn't a fight, it's an exercise of throwing an ant at the sun. if they're just not the same tier. Weaker than Sailor, she's a lot of ways. Sailor Cosmos actually reminds me of Superman 1,000,000 Prime, because she's from like the far future, at like the peak of her power, and she's like, I'm from the future and I have every ability you could ever want. So under that would be Neo Queen Serenity, which is the Sailor Moon of 1,000 years in the future, after she basically becomes the soul, like the leader of Earth. Specifically Neo Crystal Tokyo, it's basically Earth. We know that she has all of the powers of our current Sailor Moon that we will be using, but also she has 1,000 years of extra power and combat ability and experience and wisdom. We know that she can travel through time, although not as easily as Sailor Cosmos. We know that she was able to project power through time, because at one point she even gives her past self of the modern day a power from 1,000 years in the future, so she can like send energy through time itself. She was able to turn the population of Earth immortal. And we know that she had Dragon Ball Buu Arc level feats from a fucking coma. So, yeah, Neo Queen Serenity is a beast.
The beast from the east.
Yeah, literally. Under Neo Queen Serenity is Manga Sailor Moon, who, on top of, like Sailor Cosmos, possesses the Lambda power. She also has, I see this all the time when I was researching it, what's called mid-godly resurrection. I have no idea what this means, but it's basically she can regenerate her body and soul from complete annihilation. Like, she can reform her own soul. More than that, though, Sailor Moon in the manga can do everything that anime Sailor Moon can do, but tens to trillions of times better and on larger scale because the anime nerfed the living fuck out of her. Like, there is an entity that is the size of multiple galaxies in the manga, and in the anime it's like the size of a planet. Like, so manga Sailor Moon, next fucking level monster. So that brings us to the version that I actually definitely think we should be using, which is 90s anime Sailor Moon. Like Goku, she also transforms. So let's just go through the transformations real quick before we get into like attack potency and that shit. Do you want to do Goku? And I'll do Sailor Moon? Yeah.
Yeah, so Goku has in his normal state, then he has his Kaioken times everything.
Mm-hmm.
It goes up to times 100, right? Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
Then you have his Super Saiyan 1.
Does
2.
it? No, I think it only goes up to times 100 in the video games because that's really fucking stupid because at that point he might as well just be using Super Saiyan 2.
That's right, yeah, it does. Yeah, that is Budokai 1, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you mentioned it. So we'll say times 20 then.
It's a times 20. He used that on Frieza.
That does it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when he started getting an edge on Frieza. But the problem with Kaioken is it's such a short time limit on it that he timed out, and then Frieza started winning again, and then he's like, "I need to buy time. Get me a spirit bomb."
Always go-to spirit bombs. So yeah, then you got a Super Saiyan 1.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, then you have Super Saiyan 2. Then you have 3. We're just skipping 4. Because we're not using it. Over here they stopped airing middle of the Super S arc.
I don't blame them. Super S was trash. No, wait, was Super S the last one? No, it was not. Yeah, Super S was trash. Stars was good. S was trash.
Yeah, so then you got God Form.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Super Saiyan Blue. Then you have Super Saiyan Blue with Kaioken. Then you also have... Why does my screen keep flickering green?
I don't know.
Weird. That's weird. Whatever. And then you have his Ultra Instinct forms.
Yeah, to further clarify, it's Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Kaioken times 10 / times 20, and then Ultra Instinct Sign, Autonomous Ultra Instinct.
Yes.
Sailor Moon's transformation. So we're using specifically Autonomous Ultra Instinct for this.
Yes, that is
Sailor Moon has less transformations, but she still has multiple transformations. There is her base form, Usagi Tsukino, which is like relatively stronger than a normal person, but not Dragon Ball stronger than a normal person.
Like a Power Ranger almost.
Yeah. That actually Sailor Moon was inspired by Super Sentai. So. But then there's her Sailor Moon form, which we're going to call base form because although there are some interesting like Usagi feats, the Sailor Moon transformation is really the only one worth talking about.
That makes sense, yeah.
Look, Usagi, not going to win a fight against Goku. Going to put that out there right now.
She's Krillin. She's Yamcha, actually, yeah.
No, she's like... fucking Roshi or something. Like Chiaotzu.
I don't know. Roshi gets pretty beefy, so
yeah. She has some interesting feats in actual human form, but not worth this discussion. So we're gonna say base form Sailor Moon transformation. Then there is Super Sailor Moon, who I've heard has a times 3,000 power multiplier. I don't know where that comes from, so we're not gonna use that.
So that's like Super Saiyan 3 then.
Nope.
Right?
Super Saiyan 3 is 400 times.
Is it 400? Okay, I couldn't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more than 4 even. It's more than all of Goku's transformations.
Okay.
But I don't know how true that is. I just heard people say it, and I don't know where it comes from. But yeah, the Super Sailor Moon transformation, all that we know is it's significantly stronger than Sailor Moon. Then there's Eternal Sailor Moon, which is confirmed the strongest Sailor Scout outside of Sailor Galaxia. And then beyond that, there is her Princess Serenity transformation, which is like her true form. And then beyond that, there is Angel Sailor Moon. which is this one we have right here, which is her strongest form. Yes, she is naked. No, we will not address that.
It's her strongest form and her nudist form.
Now, let's talk about the terms of this fight to clarify, because usually when we do these like fights to the death, the implication is that that's the end of the fight. So the problem is that Goku can teleport out of death because he performed enough good deeds to keep his body. So if he dies, he can just like teleport. And he'll probably, I think does he get a Zenkai boost if he actually dies? Do we know if he actually dies, does he Zenkai? He probably does, right?
Yeah, he does, yeah. Every time a Saiyan dies, he gets stronger.
Mm-hmm. And so we know that if Goku gets killed in this fight, he can just teleport out of death. And Sailor Moon is like triple immortal, because once she reaches her peak, which she is not in peak during the show, but once she reaches her peak, she just stops aging, like indefinitely. We also know that if she dies, she can resurrect herself. And we also know that if she fails to resurrect herself through all of this bullshit, she'll just reincarnate in 1,000 years. So, theoretically, a fight between Goku and Sailor Moon, if they really wanted to push it, would last until Goku dies of old age.
That is true.
So what we're going to say is, with these two borderline immortals, the first kill wins.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Two feats I'm going to address that will fuck up our power ranking completely is there is a really... that is true. They would probably eat the fuck out of a ramen restaurant.
I miss ramen so much
that I'm going to bring up that people are going to cite, and I'm just going to throw out immediately. In the Super anime, and I think this is only in the actual TV anime, Goku and Beerus are just stupidly punching each other's fists for some fucking reason, and they're sending out blast waves that like hit the entire Dragon Ball universe they're in. Universe 11, I think, is the 7.
Yeah.
Or are they 7? Yeah, it sends out a blast wave through all of Universe 7, and it said that if their fists collide 3 times, the entire universe will just fucking explode or some bullshit. This never comes up again, even when Goku fights stronger enemies, and it's really fucking stupid. So we're just gonna throw that feat out, because it's ridiculous. But
that's fair.
In exchange, I will make a conception that technically Sailor Moon has blown up a universe. So, in exchange, we'll just get rid of we'll just ignore that Sailor Moon has totally destroyed a universe. And that brings us to attack potency. Starting off, physical strikes. Super has so many examples of Goku destroying mountains with his fucking fist that we know bare minimum Goku is fucking mountain level by punching. Like, every fight on Earth involves a fucking mountain blowing up.
Oh, yeah.
And during the Broly movie, Goku gets punched through, like, 5 glaciers? So,
yeah, he does, yeah.
They are all very casually mountain level on their punches, easily. I remember while watching it, I somehow came to the conclusion that Goku has to be at least star level with his physical strikes. I literally do not know where that fucking came from anymore, so we can throw that out if we want. But we can also point out that in Ultra Instinct Sign, he was able to at least slightly damage Jiren with a punch, or at least surprise him. You could say Jiren's guard's down, I don't know, but you could make that argument to say that Goku's striking ability is galaxy level, if you wanted.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Sailor Moon is more of a caster than a puncher. She does have some physical attacks. In one of the early parts of Sailor Moon, she like throws a kick and it creates an earthquake and blows all the windows off the surrounding buildings. But I think what the most definitive like strike we see from Sailor Moon is her Sailor body attack, which is just a fucking tackle, by the way. Can we address it? Is her Sailor body attack. She manages to tackle and damage UDL, who is supposed to be several times stronger than Wise Man, which means that Sailor Moon's like physical strikes are bare minimum planet, possible solar system level, with just straight up physical punching. Which pretty much tracks actually with her manga. On a side note, I just want to go on this little fun tangent because there's a fucking crazy ass scene in the Sailor Moon manga where Sailor Moon takes her like the palm of her hand and she slaps the ground of a planet and the planet splits in half. So, bare minimum, Sailor Moon could bust a planet by punching it. This brings us to energy blasts, which I have a fucking issue trying to figure out how strong an energy blast is from Goku. Because of how ki compression works in Dragon Ball, they just like shove their ki into a smaller hole, so it does more damage. So the blasts don't go wide; they go like dense.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to tell how much damage they could do. Cell claims that he can blow up a solar system with his Super Kamehameha. So I mean, we can scale through that. Mention that characters can block like fists and energy blasts with their fists, and say probably maybe a bit over galaxy level with their attacks. If we're being honest here for Dragon Ball,
yeah,
I think that's pretty fair. Now, as for the speed of the attack, because this is going to come up, obviously their fist speed would be matching their fighting speed. Their energy blast speed seems to be, like, assuming attacks from Vegeta aren't time lapses, seem to be several thousand times the speed of light from the energy blasts. This brings us to Sailor Moon's energy blasts, and this is actually her specialty. So, Sailor Moon's energy blasts, we know that in angel form she's several times stronger than she's stronger than all of the other Sailor Scouts. We know this even in eternal form, and this is 2 forms above that. So we can look at the energy blasts from other Sailor Scouts to get a rough idea. When does Mamoru swoop down and give her advice and then fuck off? Well, Mamoru is dead in the final season, because he dies in the end of the previous season. Sailor Galexia snipes him from across the galaxy.
Bitch.
No, it's crazy. She's sitting in her throne, like half a galaxy away, and she just points, and a beam of energy crosses the whole galaxy and detonates the plane he's on.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, technically everyone in that plane also died, but... Yeah, so she obviously scales off of all of the other Sailor Scouts. We know that Sailor Saturn, even in base Sailor Saturn form without being Super Sailor Saturn, very casual solar system buster. That's literally her job, is to blow up entire solar systems. We know she was also able to like fucking damage Queen Nehelenia, Saturn was. More impressively than that, though, we also have seen from the Sailor Starlights when they are fighting Queen Galexia that the energy blasts expand in like percents of a second over multiple solar systems throughout the entirety of the galaxy, and none of these attacks managed to damage fucking Galexia. And we know that the Starlights were able to put together so much energy that they made Galexia bleed, granted not in her ultimate form. But we know that Sailor Moon, even in eternal form, is stronger than the Starlights. This is 2 levels above that, and we know she's on par, if not surpassing, even the transformed Sailor Chaos, meaning that her energy blasts are minimum galaxy level, probably several times over. I would argue almost certainly stronger than Goku's, but this will not matter in this contest. As for how fast it moves... Well, needless to say, Galexia was able to throw a fucking energy blast across the galaxy in like a second. So that's fucking fast. The Starlights were able to send out, I think it was calculated 120 multi-solar system energy blasts in the span of 3 seconds, which is fucking nutso speed too. I mean, they expand through entire solar systems in like quarters of seconds, like literal fractions. But one of the more impressive tricks is from, I think, like season 2 or 3 or something. Base form Sailor Moon launches an energy blast from Earth towards the Tau Nebula, which is the size of the fucking Milky Way. And you see the beam travel through Earth, through the entirety of the Milky Way, and fucking land at the Tau Nebula. And she does this in seconds. And we can't even dismiss that as a time lapse because the fucking thing counterattacks her and she gets fucking slammed by it. So we know that Sailor Moon's attacks are, like, I don't even think I need to say it. The fucking speed of the energy blast from even her base form is... John, it is crazy high. It's so high. It's so much faster.
Okay.
It's in the quadrillions of times faster than light. So yeah, that's attack potency. She, like, speed-wise, like, physical punching, Goku wins pretty handedly. Should not surprise anyone. If Goku lost this contest of, like, punching against Sailor Moon, we'd have problems.
Yeah.
Energy blasts,
right.
Sailor Moon wins handedly. Which makes sense. She's a caster. Next up is movement speed. So first thing I want to talk about Goku's movement speed is the special ability of Autonomous Ultra Instinct. Goku is not thinking while he is using this form. His body moves optimally no matter what, and he perfectly counterattacks and dodges anything that he can keep up with, at least. You can hit him in this form. Jiren did it several times, which means if it exceeds his actual capabilities, then he can be damaged in it. But otherwise, his body will automatically respond optimally to any incoming attacks. So that's a really fucking useful power.
Yeah, it is.
Sailor Moon can't do that in any regard. In fact, I would argue most of her movements are suboptimal. Goku also has instant transmission. I debated whether he could use this in a fight against her, because because in order to use instant transmission, he needs to sense the ki of his opponent. And we know that there is magic in Sailor Moon because, like, Babidi and Bibidi and Moro all use magic. And we know that there is ki in Sailor Moon because Sailor Mars uses ki. But Sailor Moon herself uses magic, so it was like, well, I don't know if Goku can even sense her. But when Goku hires an assassin to kill him because he's a fucking idiot, we know that Goku can sense the ki of, like, 2 cockroaches sitting behind his stove. He had to focus a lot to do that, but, like, casually, I think he could pull off a human in combat. And Sailor Moon probably has slightly more ki than the average person, not, like, Dragon Ball levels of ki, but if it's just him versus her, I feel like he can sense her and teleport around all he needs to.
No, that's true, yeah.
As for Sailor Moon, her older forms can teleport through fucking time and space. This form doesn't actually have that capability, though. Like, modern, contemporary Sailor Moon can't do this like her older versions can. She can teleport to and from the moon, but that won't help. And she can teleport if all of the, like, inner Sailor Guardians are with her, but this is a one-on-one. So Sailor Moon cannot teleport during this fight, but Goku can. That is worth noting. As for physical movement speed, proving Goku's movement speed was goddamn impossible.
Yeah. No,
as it turns out, it's goddamn impossible. Most of the power scaling assumes that Goku is moving the same speed as his energy blasts, which is fucking absurd. Of course he isn't. If you were moving the speed of the energy blast, no one would be using energy blasts.
That is true.
But we can assume that he's fast as fuck. So I actually had a lot of issues proving Goku was FTL in his actual physical movement. I almost thought for a while he actually just wasn't. But I did manage to prove that Goku is FTL in, hilariously enough, a video entitled, "No, Goku is not FTL, stop wanking him." And I watched it and I'm like, oh, that is, and the person, like, disputing, like, this is proof he's not FTL, and I'm like, no, that is actually, you have failed at the title. Thank you. You have finally proved he is FTL right there. Dispo. We're going to use the character Dispo. When he is fighting Hit, was said that Dispo focused all of his time and effort into getting faster, and gradually he was able to eventually surpass the speed of light by top. Dispo himself, when he is fighting Hit, says that the reason Hit has trouble reacting to him is because for a fraction of a second, Dispo is capable of temporarily expanding his speeds thousands of times over. It is implied in this, like, hey, headshot. So it's implied with these statements that for a brief moment during this fight, Dispo was able to surpass the speed of light. So that's cool. Obviously, Dispo showed that he can go way faster when he fought Gohan and Frieza, but that doesn't fucking matter. What matters is that for brief moments, Dispo can surpass the speed of light, and Goku, in God form, was able to move from a sizable amount of the map away, land in front of Dispo while he was FTL, and catch his punch. And then comment that his punch was predictable. So we know that at bare minimum, Super Saiyan God form Goku can move FTL. Also, worth noting that all of Goku's Tournament of Power feats, according to the Grand Priest, the Tournament of Power takes place with gravity and conditions similar to that of your birth planet. Goku was not born on Earth. He was born on planet Vegeta, which has 10 times the gravity of Earth. So technically, all of Goku's feats in Tournament of Power are at 10 times gravity. No one ever brings this up. I doubt the writers even fucking realized it, but I realized it.
That makes sense, though. Yeah. I didn't even think about that either.
Nobody thought. I guarantee you, every special feat that I'm going to mention for Goku, the writers didn't even fucking think of the implications of what they goddamn said. But yeah, so all of his tournament power feats are at 10 times gravity. I don't think that would make him 10 times slower. If you want to say it'll make him 10 times slower, we'll add on 10 times to whatever speed we calculate.
Well, I mean, he did always train in
100 times gravity, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 10 times the gravity of Earth, wouldn't be.
Yeah, I imagine it doesn't affect him too hard, really. Yeah. The most impressive part about that is actually not the G-force, it's the fact that it's preventing your blood from flowing properly. But, yeah, so we know that Super Saiyan God form, faster than light. So if we use that as our base, will bring us up to Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. I have heard this is supposed to be a ×5 multiplier, but Super Saiyan is a ×50 multiplier. So I'm going to say Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, 50 times stronger than Super Saiyan God. This is also assuming that speed is directly proportional to an increase in power, which I think there's plenty of evidence to actually support that a character that is twice as strong as another character is not necessarily twice as fast. But for the sake of argument, we'll just assume that Goku is 50 times faster in God form, or Super Saiyan God form, right? So then we add on to Kaioken times 20. Goku is 1,000 times stronger in Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Kaioken times 20 form. Excuse me. Did I say evidence?
I didn't catch it, actually.
I don't know. Yeah, so we can assume that Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Kaioken times 20 is 1,000 times stronger than Super Saiyan God form, right? So here's the thing. How much stronger is Ultra Instinct Sign than that? How much faster would you say? Because they don't say, there's no way to find out this information. And I was almost going to say it's probably slower and just a more efficient transformation, except they specifically say it's faster. So...
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
So we have two transformations after Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Kaioken times 20. John, how fast is Autonomous Ultra Instinct? You tell me. We're up to 1,000 times faster than light. How fast is Autonomous Ultra? Just pick a fucking number.
I would have to say at least 2,500 times faster. Okay. It would have to be double blue, so...
Kaioken times 20? It'd have to be double that? Okay.
It would have to be, because it's a significant power up from Blue Kaioken 20.
Okay.
He fights Jiren at that level and gets demolished, and then Ultra Instinct pops up, and then it's okay, now I can go toe to toe with this guy. So
okay, let's say it's we'll say it's 50 times stronger then. How about that? Just like Super Saiyan. And then we'll assume that Autonomous is 100 times stronger. So Goku's moving at 100,000 times faster than light in Autonomous Ultra Instinct. Does that sound fair? And then we'll reduce to Earth gravity, because fuck it, and say he's 1,000,000 times faster than light. You should be worried that I'm willing to give that many concessions in a row.
I'm a little worried.
So, okay, here's how we prove Sailor Moon was faster than light. I was like, okay, is Sailor Moon faster than light? So the earliest example I can find of Sailor Moon moving faster than light is actually in her base form in Season 1, Episode 20. Where a photographer attempts to take a picture of Sailor Moon, and the flash of their camera goes off, and we see the photons traveling through the air, and she effortlessly dodges them several times in a row, showing that even as far as Episode 20, anime Sailor Moon is FTL in base form. She has multiple other FTL feats throughout the show, but I think the absolute apex of this is the aforementioned Sailor Starlights versus Sailor Galaxia. Please remember that Sailor Moon in angel form is stronger than Sailor Chaos, which is the stronger evolution of Sailor Galaxia, who was able to effortlessly do this against the Starlights, of which Eternal Sailor Moon is stronger than that. During the fight against the Sailor Starlights and Sailor Galaxia, they are seen crossing the galaxy of the Milky Way in 3 seconds multiple times, during which 120 multi-solar system level blasts are launched. The Milky Way galaxy is 1 to 200,000 light years across. I really don't think I need to tell you how fast Sailor Moon can move.
It's pretty fast.
Goku is basically standing still. He is frozen. So that's not good. So that's speed. Now, we mentioned multiple gravities, so this doesn't have any impact in the fight, but I just want to compare this, because I thought it was fun factoid. We know that Goku fought the World Tournament of Power at 10 times Earth gravity. We know that he trains on King Kai's with extra weights at 100 times Earth gravity. And he encounters... So, and Vegeta has a gravity chamber built to him by Bulma. The gravity chamber built by Bulma can go up to 500 times Earth gravity. I'm just going to say Gs from now on. Can go up to 500 Gs, but Vegeta usually trains weighted at about 450. We know this from some Boo thing, Boo's Fury or some bullshit. I don't know.
Yeah, that was indeed. Random fact, but yeah, it was in there.
So we know that Vegeta trains at around 450 times gravity, so that sounds pretty fair for that. While on Rubius' ship, Sailor Moon was subjected to bare minimum 5 million times Earth gravity. And that's assuming the ship was made of steel and not some kind of space-age, ultra-powerful metal. So, goddamn. But I know what you're thinking. Okay, but hang on. Because in the Tournament of Power, Goku gets sucked into 2 different black holes. One of which him and Jiren create a sort of Kugelblitz, and he gets sucked in and almost dies from. And the second time, the Magical Girl universe, I forget which one that was, the Ribrianne universe, manages to use the power of love to create a black hole that slams into Goku in base form, which shows that Goku was not able to move while in the black hole while in base form, but he was able to transform into Super Saiyan God and free himself from a black hole. So we know that Super Saiyan God, Goku, can move himself out of a black hole with his own power. Mm-hmm. Sailor Moon encounters 3 different black holes throughout the series. The most notable of which is in Black Dream Hole, where the event horizon of the black hole surpasses the entirety of the Earth, and I believe also the Moon. And while in just super form, so not even her strongest form, she was able to fly in and out of this black hole. So this has nothing to do with the fight, I just think it's a fun fact, but if Goku and Sailor Moon get into a powerlifting contest, Sailor Moon will probably win. Apparently the girl lifts.
She does lift, bro.
This brings us to durability. Durability is a lot harder to prove. We know... I think the magical girls were from the second universe. There we go. Thank you, Max here.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, durability. It's a lot harder to prove durability feats for either of them. But we know Goku can take attacks from Jiren, who by power scaling we can assume is galaxy level. So Goku can tank through galaxy level attacks. Now Goku actually has two different durabilities, one with ki and one without ki. Without ki, he can pretty much effortlessly take a low speed collision with a car, and he's slightly damaged by bullets. But I mean, in no uncertain terms, if Goku's ki runs out while fighting Sailor Moon, the fight is over and his durability doesn't matter anymore. So
yeah.
Sailor Moon also has comparable durability. We know that she can take attacks from Sailor Galaxia and other multi-galaxy level attacks. We know that she also once took an attack from an evil sapient universe called Pharaoh 90. But I'm not going to say that attack is fucking universe level anyway. I'm just going to point out that she can at least get hit with a galaxy and just tank through it, even in base form. So she has comparable durability, but she also has the ability to create barriers around herself, which are also roughly on top of her own durability and can also tank through Sailor Galaxia's attacks without taking any damage. So even with comparable durability, she can also create barriers with the same level of durability as her that Goku would have to get through. And she also has the ability to heal, which is useful to her because Sailor Moon's healing is super fucking good. First off, it restores you to full health, heals all of your wounds, cures diseases, but it can also heal not just people, it can also heal clothing, buildings, planets, stars, galaxies. It can heal metaphysical concepts like insanity and star seeds and dreams. Okay. It can resurrect the dead, and it can engulf the entire universe in this healing ray in seconds. So she could do this on a universal level. So needless to say, Sailor Moon wins the durability category handedly.
That's fair.
Stamina. Now, Goku has an unintentional stamina feat that I think only came up because the writers are fucking retarded. Technically, and I noticed this while watching, and I think this is an accident, but I'm going to count it anyway. Goku did not rest from his exhibition with the kicking universe with the Fox people. He did not sleep, but after doing that fight from the 2 days to Tournament of Power, he did all of that without going to bed.
It's pretty nuts.
They literally, and granted, I think just because the writers forgot that the characters needed to sleep, but I'll count it anyway.
That's fair.
We know that Goku's transformations drain him heavily. Super Saiyan 1, he seems to be able to maintain. Granted, the writers also forgot about this, but Super Saiyan 1, Goku can maintain basically indefinitely without any issues. But onward from that, there's a lot higher of a power draw. Like Super Saiyan God, he can only maintain for a few minutes. There is a video that shows Goku, that shows the Tournament of Power compressed into a 48-minute time span based on the timestamps and what's happening in different locations. And it showed that Goku was only able to maintain Autonomous Ultra Instinct for 38 seconds. Now, granted, the timelines could be a little off on that, but what I will also say is that the Tournament of Power did not last 48 minutes, because the tournament did not end by timing out. The tournament ended by ring out. So, Goku can maintain Autonomous Ultra Instinct for less than 1 minute. Which is noteworthy for this, before he drops all the way back to base form and then starts puking out his fucking organs.
He does do that.
Sailor Moon possesses the Silver Crystal, which, here we go, grants her infinite energy.
Neat.
We know, because Sailor Cosmos did this, that Sailor Moon was able to fight with a cosmic entity of chaos for 1,000 years straight without stopping. So even if we assume that with infinite energy, Sailor Moon will eventually time out, the amount of time it will take Sailor Moon to time out is over 1,000 years compared to Goku's under a minute. So she definitely wins the stamina category. And this brings us to, I think, special abilities. I actually think I had a special noteworthy ability for Goku, and I don't remember it anymore. So do you have anything that could impact this?
I mean, special ability-wise, I mean, like, I guess, like, what instant transmission would be, like, his special ability?
Yeah, I think we addressed that during the movement, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, he doesn't really... I mean, maybe his friendship. Maybe that's the special ability.
His friendship? Okay.
His friendship. But I mean, like, other than that, he really doesn't have anything, like, up his sleeve in regard to that. Like, he's basically like, I'm gonna punch you until you're down type of guy.
Really is his thing. There is the Zenkai boost, but it won't come into play in this.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, yeah.
Okay, so Sailor Moon... let's see. Special abilities, I don't think there's anything that'll really impact this, but I just want to talk about it because it's fun. Her earliest attack is, God, I remembered what it was called every day until right now. Moon Tiara Action. Where her first attack is she'd take her tiara off her head and she'd throw it at you, and she used to really suck. There's a whole character arc about this in the background, where she used to suck and miss all the time, but over the course of the series, she's shown to progressively get better and better at throwing disc-shaped objects. And by the end of the show, she's like a world champion, like, frisbee player, basically. Like, it's actually world class. But there is a scene in Sailor Moon where an enemy invades their house, and Sailor Moon throws a fucking pizza at it and knocks it over, which leads to one of the most hilarious calculations I've ever seen, which is that Sailor Moon can bust planets by throwing pizza at them. Now, granted, Goku can tank through that, so I didn't mention it in attack potency. I just think it's hilarious.
I mean, to be fair, if she threw a pizza at him, he'd probably just eat it.
You're not even wrong.
Yeah. It's a special ability that can be deterred by being a fat fuck.
She's also we already talked about her immortality. And as for other special abilities, she's also empowered by friendship and love. She can also borrow power from her future selves, but we're not going to allow that ability for this because we're going to say that that's outside help.
So I think I think it's time to call it.
You think it's time to call it? All right. What are you thinking, John?
I'm thinking Sailor Moon.
You think it's Sailor Moon?
I mean...
Was it because she won every category except Punch?
Basically, I mean, we all know that Goku is Punchy Boy, so...
By, like, a lot?
Yeah.
And she's even relatively in his ballpark with Punch?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the clear winner here is Sailor Moon. And it doesn't pain me to say that, because I like both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's why I thought it'd be a good matchup, because like everyone's like, Goku's the strongest anime character. No.
So I don't really want to get into that too hard, but like I think the people that think Goku is the strongest anime character, they don't really know anime, and they only know like Dragon Ball and Naruto and shit. Goku does stand up pretty high. Goku is not the strongest anime character. He's definitely not even in the top 100 for surezies. But even more notable than that, whenever people say Goku's the strongest anime character, I can't help but think internally to myself, Goku's not even the strongest character in his own fucking series.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
If we're including fusion characters, Goku's not even in the top 20 strongest characters in his own fucking series. So the idea that Goku is the strongest, I don't understand.
No, that's fair, yeah. Yeah, Goku's strong, but he's not strong as there is, you know?
No. I've seen people on, like, I saw one person on Reddit make a really interesting point that Goku's at such a weird level of power that he, like, it's a martial arts show that evolved to the cosmic level, but it didn't evolve cosmic level abilities like things like Sailor Moon would have, where they can, like, or like Marvel or DC, where they can manipulate reality and change history and shit like that. Oh yeah, that's also worth noting. One time Sailor Moon rewrote a person's entire history so that they never learned to fight. So,
no, that's power.
Yeah. So, like, DBZ hit the cosmic level without building into the cosmic level. Like, it never got cosmic abilities. It's just they punch really hard. So it makes it really hard to set them up. Like, either they stomp everyone that you throw under them, or they get completely blown out.
Yeah, it's I mean, the only person that has, like, I would say, cosmic abilities would be Zeno. Like, he's, like, the only one I can think of.
Yeah.
Like, he just wiped the entire universe if he wants.
Yeah, Zeno's really the only, like, cosmic entity in Dragon Ball. But I know people are going to say that's something about this, so I want to do something special with this one, that we're probably only going to do this one time. Well, you said this is the penultimate episode, so the next episode's the last one anyway.
No, it's not the penultimate.
Okay. I want to do one other thing just to give Goku one last fighting chance. Sailor Moon blitzes the fuck out of him. He cannot move. He's basically stun locked until he's dead during this fight. So let's do something, and I hate to say this because I think it undermines the point of Arena Versus. Round 3, Goku versus Sailor Moon, speed equalized. They are moving at the same speed now. So I'm willing to go over this again. Here's the thing. Here's what I think. I think that Ultra Instinct's ability to perfectly optimize his movements, counterattack, and dodge attacks gives him an amazing edge over Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
I definitely think he can push her back if they're moving at the same speed, and she doesn't have a massive speed advantage. Here's my only concern about this, is that Sailor Moon fights pretty defensively, and Goku fights pretty aggressively, and she can create barriers, and she can heal herself, and she has comparable durability, and she has infinite energy, and Goku has less than a minute to beat her. And I'm sorry to say this, even at speed equalized, I think, just like with Jiren, Goku will time out before he finishes her. I think it'll be even worse, because she can just put up a barrier. So I think Goku will time out of his form and then get blitzed again.
No, 100%, yeah. If he is, so now if we were talking about, like, current, like, manga, like, he's mastered Ultra Instinct at that point, so he can obviously maintain it for a lot longer. Mm-hmm. But even then, like, I don't think it'd be a
yeah, Sailor Moon's ability to heal herself is a real fucking problem, and the fact that her barriers are on par, if not surpassing her own physical durability, which is already on Goku's level, makes it really fucking hard for him to respond.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's I don't see any version of Goku that could win this.
Yeah.
Like, not even a fused version, not even...
Fused, I think, will be a different story if we're equalizing speed.
Yeah.
We could use Vegito, but without speed equalization, nothing. No way. Yeah. She moves so well, full disclosure, I do look into the power scaling calculations for these characters. Versus Wiki cites Goku as a low 2C character. Sailor Moon is cited as a full 2C character. So she beats him by ranking. But more than that, while looking through like feats for Goku, as far as calculations go, and I don't like to talk calculations, people generally just randomly will say in comics, Goku moves quadrillions of times the speed of light. Which is the same speed that we can prove Sailor Moon's attack is on the Tau Nebula. There is a calculation on Versus Wiki that if Goku can move at the same speed as his energy blasts when he fist fights Beerus, like when the beams are going throughout the entire universe to destroy the universe, he moves sextillions of times the speed of light. randomly I saw on a fucking thread that someone just guessed Goku is moving septillions of times the speed of light. So this is someone with no evidence, no calculations, just randomly saying Goku can move septillions of times the speed of light, surpassing even the like crazy power calculations.
It's
The
canon.
speed Sailor Moon is calculated to move at due to the scaling off of the Starlight versus Galaxia fight is 22.2 decacillion times the speed of light. It is so large I had to look up the number to figure out how many zeros are behind it.
Is that 100 zeros?
It's 33.
Oh, 33, okay.
100 is a Google.
That's right, yeah.
But she's so fucking fast, it sounds like a fictional number. So yeah, it's really one-sided. I'm sorry. We gave Goku a chance, but I'm willing to call it like all 3 matchups, Sailor Cosmos, regular, and then speed equalized. I just cannot see Goku win in the fight.
So Sailor Moon wins.
Sailor Moon wins. Yeah.
No, we wore the shirt for nothing.
Yeah, and to commemorate that,
I like the delay because it's going to take me a while to see what you're doing. I swear, if you put on the same Sailor Moon shirt that I already have.
yeah.
Oh my god, you have the same exact. Well, now I gotta go put mine on.
You thought I only bought 1 joke for this joke, but I bought 2! Yeah!
Careful with the nipples. I know, that's why I tried to go out frame.
I don't think my nips showed. I don't think I raised my shirt up high enough.
Oh, I thought you said about me.
Ah.
Well, so now that the winner, Sailor Moon.
The winner is Sailor Moon. Yeah.
We just happen to both have the same shirts.
I bought this shirt also for this joke.
Hey, $16 well spent on both
I
shirts.
realized. Oh, I paid like 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I realized that this was inevitable. So I was like, am I really gonna buy 2 shirts for 1 joke? Yes, I am.
Yeah. Lo and behold, I already had these 2 shirts, so it was just happenstance.
I mean, I don't mind the shirts. I like Dragon Ball and I like Sailor Moon. I don't mind. I'm okay with opening them. All right. Yeah, that was Versus. So you want to take a bit of information so I can piss, and we'll come back with whatever the next topic is?
Yeah, exactly. We'll be right back. So again, don't touch that dial. Stay here. Enjoy Zach's awesome Be Right Back stream.
Okay, we are Audible.
All right.
Audible.com/sacrabalic.
We're not sponsored by Audible.
You're not. No, I'm not either.
I was gonna say, damn, Zach.
Yeah, I'm getting sponsorships now. For my 6 subscribers.
I'm happy to be one of them.
And I'm happy to have you, John.
Tee. All right. Next topic, we're doing Big Lizard versus Big Monkey.
Okay. No, I'm sure you have a topic here. But
that is the topic.
I'm sure you have things you want to. I'm sure you have bullet points for this. I need to talk about this.
Did you watch it?
As far as this movie goes. Why the fuck is there a literal cat in the background?
Because it was funny, and I saw that, and I was like, I need that picture. So I was like,
what is happening in this image right now?
Because I was like looking through the images, and that was like the 7th one that popped up, and I'm like, I gotta grab that.
Okay, all right. So this isn't in the film then.
It is not in the film.
Okay,
no.
I had to make sure.
No,
it's like, yeah, I'm sure big kaiju monster fight. Yeah. There's a fucking cat in this picture.
It's really funny. I loved it. I was just like, I got it because it kind of looks like Mr. B.
It does.
So I watched this at work the other day when it came out last Thursday.
No.
I'm not gonna go into spoilers just in case anyone wants to watch it and they haven't watched it yet. It is on HBO Max, so if you have the HBO Max, go watch it. It's completely free. Or go to the theaters to see it, whatever's your bag. I did go to the theaters last night. It was a good experience. So I'm definitely going to go see Mortal Kombat in theaters. So that'll be a next podcast. So I'll
Mortal
talk about
Kombat?
that yeah, the new Mortal Kombat movie.
What?
Yeah, it actually looks good. Because it looks good, you know? Whatever.
I mean, why did they make that?
Money.
Okay. Anyway.
So yeah, Big Monkey versus Big Lizard was actually a solid movie. The one thing they need to stop doing is putting these human subplots into these movies, because I don't care about those in these movies. I just want to see the big monsters fight. They did a lot better with the subplots this time around, but they were still kind of like meh. You could have done without them.
Mm-hmm.
The plot involving Kong was actually really good with the human stuff in it. They cut Johnny fucking Cage. They did cut Johnny Cage, yeah. But they gave us Kung Lao, so I'm fine with that. The theater still exists. Yeah,
theaters are actually doing really good now.
Yeah, I went last night with Tom. That was a lot of fun.
I don't know how the fuck. Why would they cut Johnny Cage? He's like the most important character.
That was a weird decision. I'm just not sure why they did it. They said he'd probably be in a second movie if they did do a second, which it's projecting to be a pretty big opening and stuff like that. So I honestly wouldn't surprise me if they got a second feature out of this.
We're gonna make Godzilla versus Kong, but we're gonna introduce Kong in the second movie.
That's fair. Yeah. So yeah, the stuff with Kong and the human stuff is cool. But then you had another side plot with Bobby Miller Brown's character that I just didn't care about at all. It was just there. It added some things. It was more important to the ending than anything. But I mean, it was. The fight scenes were fucking spectacular, though. I give every fight scene in this movie they were fun to watch. They didn't seem cheesy.
Out of 10.
What?
It's a out of 10.
It was a out of 10. Yeah. Honestly, if this movie was literally just like an hour of these two like clobbering each other, I would have been super good with that. The CGI looked fantastic. The secret final boss looked great too. It didn't look cheesy.
Not a secret anymore. Damn. I heard no. I heard no spoilers.
Well, I didn't say who it was. I just
you said that it exists. I feel spoiled, John.
I mean, it's in the trailers.
Oh, is it? I haven't seen any of the trailers.
Oh. But yeah, this movie was I did like Godzilla. The monster parts of that movie. I did like King of the Monsters. They kind of worked again on those subplots again, like with the human shit, a little bit better than the movie.
Yeah, both
Skull
of those
Island,
movies are dog shit.
Yeah, Skull Island is probably the best of the three. And then they really ramp it up for this movie, so I really liked it. I definitely recommend it if you want to go to the theaters, or if you have HBO Max and someone that has it, just watch it. It's only just shy of 2 hours. Not a super long movie, but it was a good watch. I gave it a solid 7 out of 10. So.
I'll probably check it out just because throughout the course of this podcast we've talked about all the others, and I feel like this is. I'm sure they're going to make more after this, but this feels like the climax kind of all of them. Like the realization of all the setup. Both of the Godzilla movies were trash. The Kong Skull Island was a really good movie, and you know what made Kong Skull Island a good movie? Was the human characters, but it's not because they were a subplot designed to frame the giant fucking monster. The whole point of Skull Island was they're on this fucking hellscape and they're trying to survive. So it's less of a like a giant monster movie with boring human characters trying to ground it, and more of a group of humans desperately trying to stay alive in this fucking like death island with a fucking god ape running around in it. Like it turns the monsters into into a challenge for the characters rather than using the humans as a set piece for them. And that's what made like Skull Island the best movie, is because like Kong wasn't the focus so much as an obstacle.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
And like they absolutely did a way better job for this one. So, like I said, definitely recommend it. I would definitely love for you to watch and hear your thoughts on it, since we have literally talked about every single one of these movies. So it definitely is like the Peter Jackson King Kong when you were 4 and remember nothing from it. That movie is long as shit. That's like a 3-hour long movie. I saw that in theaters, so you just made me feel super old.
I did not know the Mortal Kombat theme had a name.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm will one day watch probably every movie you have added to the topics list today.
No, they're all pretty solid.
But specifically about this one, any other things to add on? Because we don't want to get into those topics quite yet.
No, I mean, like I said, if you have HBO Max or you want to go to the movies, absolutely watch it. Just under 2 hours. The movies aren't that bad. I went last night. It was a solid time. I saw Nobody, that movie with Bob Odenkirk. It was fantastic. I was going to talk about it tonight, but it's in theaters and not on anything, so I don't really want to talk about it too much. They might come up later because I'm definitely going to watch that movie again. Though. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say you saw Nobody at the theater.
No, actually, there was a fair amount of people there. When you pick your seats, they always have like 2 on the opposite side of whomever.
Get the distance.
The social distancing thing. Yeah. But yeah, it was actually really nice going to the theaters last night. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm probably gonna go see Mortal Kombat in the theaters. Yeah.
Okay. Well, before we move on, I just want to address. Still looking at this fucking image. Fucking Kong is next to the water, which is the exact opposite place of where a giant fucking monkey would want to be during a giant lizard. Yep. He's definitely not winning this fight, as it appears, despite the fact that he's delivering a massive haymaker. He's in the corner, essentially. But there's a giant cat out in the water, and he's just, like, licking his paw and looking at him, which gives this impression that they're only fighting because the cat is mind-controlling them. Or a secondary impression that they're actually giant toys, and that's just a normal-sized cat just staring at, like, at their owner's fucking figures.
I love this image, and that's why I picked this one.
Originally,
I picked the same image without the cat, and then I scrolled a little bit and saw the one with the cat.
Saw the one with the cat. You know what? Definitely think you picked the right one. All right, moving on.
Moving on, yeah. Next up is Harley Quinn, which is your topic.
Yes, I watched the absolutely amazing, stupendous, and incredibly well-received Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure which movie you were talking. I was like, it was either
the TV show.
The new animated show, which I heard is actually pretty dope.
It actually looks pretty solid. I've seen some clips from it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't talk about it really.
So, all right, this movie right here did not do well, and it got a lot of hate because nobody wanted to see it. Because it's supposed to be one of those like female empowerment movies that like draw in like women, and it's like, stay away, men, you all suck. And then when no man wanted to watch it, they blamed the men for it.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, it has a lot in common with Captain Marvel, actually.
I actually like Captain Marvel. I'm not going to talk shit about that.
I mean, Captain Marvel was an okay movie. It wasn't great. Yeah, see, it didn't draw me. See, that's the thing. Like, they specifically said they didn't want men to see it, and but then no women wanted to fucking watch it either. And then they blamed men for not seeing it. So here's the thing. It wasn't actually as bad as you think it was.
That's what I heard. I heard it's like not a bad movie. Just people just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the marketing, god fucking awful. Not that bad of a movie. Definitely needed an editor a little bit. Needed to be cut a bit better. Needed to be tightened up on the writing script. The ending is fucking terrible. It's just like this nonsensical fight scene where it is impossible to track what's happening through the action shots. And like the whole ending, it just falls apart and just becomes action scene. The characters are kind of interesting a little bit, I get. Like it's okay. Like it's a solid all around movie. I don't hate it. It's watchable, especially in like the first hour and a half. It's just the last half hour, the whole thing just goes to shit. I actually wouldn't blame anyone who did like it, especially if you just like dumb action with no real point to it.
Who's the villain of this movie?
Black Skull, which I want to talk about because they did the weirdest fucking thing with Black Skull.
Wasn't it Ewan McGregor, right?
I don't know. I don't know who did Black. I don't know any of these people other than Margot Robbie, I think. But yeah, Black Mask. Yeah, sorry, I said Black Skull. Black Mask. Nobody cares about Black Mask. Let's be totes my goats here. Yeah, there's some really weird casting is mostly what I want to talk about. The girl who plays Cassandra Cain did an okay job. I don't believe her as Cassandra Cain. And maybe she's intended to like be a different character than her comic incarnation. But I just don't understand why they would use the name Cassandra Cain if they weren't intending to make her Cassandra Cain. You know what I'm saying? Like she is not comic Cassandra Cain, and I wouldn't believe that she would develop into Batgirl either. So, like she's fine as an actress. It feels like she was miscast, and this might be me, and I don't want to like harp on this too much. They made a Black Canary a woman of color, which the only issue I have with that is I think it's mildly racist to make the character called Black Canary black. That might just be me. I just think it's like offensive in a way to be like, this is Black Canary, we're gonna make her black. It's like, what? Okay, like why you could like they could race swap another character if they had to do it. Like I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm being crazy. It just seems mildly offensive.
I didn't even know half these people were in this cast. I'm like looking at the cast list.
I don't know them either. Yeah.
No, I know like a lot of them. I just didn't.
Oh, and like Renee Montoya, and this is like 40. It's weird. There's such weird casting choices. There's some Black Power Ranger is black and Yellow Ranger is Asian shit right there. Yeah, I don't know. It's not like a big thing. It's just like weird to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know. It feels weird. The actress did fine. I don't want to hate on the actress. She did a perfectly fine job. One other issue. At the end, she does the fucking canary scream, which is like the signature superpower of Black Canary. It is never hinted at any other point in this fucking movie, and she just does it randomly. Yeah, there's no superpowers the entire movie, and at the end of the movie, superpower. And you're like, that came the fuck out of nowhere. That was not led into properly. But yeah, the movie itself, like, everyone did a totally fine job. The characters, a little boring. The relationship's not great. There is, interestingly enough, though, some intense sexual energy in this film. And so one thing I want to talk about is the character of Black Mask, who, because the actor was terrible.
It was Ewan McGregor, yeah.
But I think he was just having fun with it. Is the thing. Like, I think he realized he was in some dog shit and he was just having a blast because he goes over the fucking top with it. His performance is really fun in this. They have Victor Zsasz in this, but he's not like real Victor Zsasz. He's just like a subordinate to Black Mask. But like every time these two characters are on screen, there is just some astounding sexual tension between them. And I don't know if the movie's doing it on purpose or if the actors got like together off screen and was like, "Hey, it'd be fucking fun." But like every time they're on screen, I'm like, man, if these two aren't fucking, they should be. You know what I'm saying?
No, fair enough.
They had chemistry. They had so much chemistry, Victor Zsasz and Black Mask. And I'm like, yeah, get together. And then they don't. But does he at least have tally marks on his skin? I think he maybe has them, but they're not visible, which is the whole point of Victor Zsasz, is that he's just covered in them. That's what makes Zaz like scary. He only has like a few. It's kind of boring. Yeah, it's honestly, it's not a terrible movie. It's a lot better than I thought it would be, or than you would think it would be. But it's also not great. It's like a 5 out of 10.
So it's better than Suicide Squad.
Fucking flaming pile of dog shit is better than Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that movie's fucking awful.
That movie is fucking awful.
So bad.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's easily better than Suicide Squad. It's probably better than like Justice League, even maybe not the new one, but yeah.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Yeah, it's like it was watchable. It's like I'm serious. It's like a 5 out of 10. Like a lot of these like DC like cinematic universe movies are like 4s, and this is like a 5. So
I haven't seen Shazam or Aquaman yet. Those are the 2 movies I haven't seen yet.
Aquaman's not bad.
Yeah, that's what everyone said. I was gonna watch it last night, but
Shazam's not bad either. The ending. This is the problem: is they have this like long action scenes in these DC movies, and they're always terrible.
Shazam is good.
Yeah, Shazam's not bad. It just goes to shit at the end, like all of the DC movies, because they have these like long action scenes, and they're always boring and terrible and awfully coordinated, and you can't see what's happening.
It's like Big Butt with superpower.
But yeah, I'm ready to move on.
All right, and that kind of segues us into actually before we move on, I want to talk about Ghostbusters.
Oh, the new one coming out?
Yeah, because Pache brought that up, and
I was also wondering your opinion on it.
So they released a clip yesterday. Macula also like Shazam. They released a clip yesterday which featured the return of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in a miniature form, and boy howdy, am I in love with it. It's my new favorite thing. I used to like Grogu, aka Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
But miniature Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, it's wonderful. I'm loving it, especially when it's Paul Rudd in the same scene. Give me 2 of my favorite things. I'm down. I'm very much patiently waiting for this movie to come out in November.
I hear it's getting slammed on Twitter for not being with the female cast.
Not being with it?
Mm-hmm.
What? No, not. So we already talked about that.
You know Twitter. Come on.
Yeah. It's funny because, 5 years ago now. When
I have heard there will be like at least a female Ghostbuster in it. So
yeah, there is. Yeah. So the general premise of this Ghostbusters movie is it's the grandchildren of Egon, Harold Ramis' character, who unfortunately has passed away. They move into his house and they find all this Ghostbuster shit.
Mm-hmm.
I like.
Oh, and they like let the ghosts out of the box or something.
Yeah, so I'm 100% down with this reboot. It's done by Jason Reitman, who is Ivan Reitman's son, a kid who grew up on literally Ghostbusters and these movies. He was on the set. He was in Ghostbusters 2. He's the kid that opens the door in the beginning of the movie for the Ghostbusters. I'm 100% down. There was a few more Ghostbusters in the Awfuls 90. Oh, yeah, that was Extreme Ghostbusters.
I think Zone, the famous porn artist Zone, is really into her.
That's weird.
Oh.
Yeah, her name was Kayla Kai. Some of the K, I can't remember. I've watched every episode of the Real Ghostbusters, Extreme Ghostbusters, all that shit. I've seen literally everything Ghostbusters related, even like the knockoff cartoon from the 80s too. That was like with the monkey and shit. I watched that too. It's awful. But yeah, Extreme Ghostbusters is meh. It's all right. Says Zone mission complete. But yeah, I'm 100% looking forward to that movie, and I hate that it keeps getting pushed back. It was supposed to come out in July. Now it's coming out in November, and that show came first. Yeah, it did. Yeah, I consider it a knock.
I've seen trailers for it. It looks pretty decent. I don't know. I on the other hand have seen nothing Ghostbusters. So pow.
If I can recommend, just watch the first one, and if you're really liking the first one, watch the second one. But just know it's not as good.
Yeah, I have heard that. I've heard it's a good movie, but it's not original Ghostbusters good movie.
Yeah, that's true, mate. Yeah. I don't the hashtag not my Ghostbusters, But yeah,
Honestly, I think it would be. You're probably going to disagree with this, but as someone with no leg in this race, I think it would be cool to at least acknowledge the ladies from Ghostbusters 2016. They got a lot of shit for that film that was not like justifiable.
So in regards to that film, I think it's the director's fault and not the actress's fault, because I think they just worked with what they had, which completely understandable.
From what I understand,
But,
it was a fucking awful script.
Yeah, so Ghostbusters should have stayed dead, in my opinion. See, yeah, I would have said that. I said the same thing, but when they said Jason Reitman was going to do the new one, I was on board with it because it's a family thing now. Like, it's going from dad to son, and I want to see how that transition works and see what they do with it. I also love, obviously, Paul Rudd and Finn Wolfhard. Both of them are in the movie. Reboots with the next generation concept is always fucking terrible. That is true, yeah. I do have a lot of faith in this movie, especially after seeing that clip with the little mini ghost. Stay Puffs. God, I love that shit. It was really cool. Go check it out. It's on YouTube. It's like a minute long or whatever. But I feel really bad for the actresses in that movie. I feel bad for Chris Hemsworth too. He did what he could in that movie.
Like they made a bad movie, sure, but like the shit they like had to deal with, especially in social media, and they can't get rid of their social media. They're actors, so they have to have it to have like a media presence. And it's like the shit they had to go through. It's crazy. It's like no one deserves that just for making a bad movie.
See, I didn't like the movie, but I'm not going to sit there and blast people on Twitter because I'm not a film expert. I'm not someone to write scripts. I'm not an actor. I'm not a director. And it takes a lot of work to put these movies out and the effort that goes into it. And editing and getting the score and convincing Bill Murray to do this scene. I don't do that. So I do feel bad for like what they had to go through, but God, that movie's fucking terrible.
No, I rewatched the last segment of the podcast where you said everyone in that movie should lose their job and never work again.
Everyone who made the movie, not the actors.
Okay, all right. As long as we're clear.
Let me rephrase that. And I was in a heated.
Yeah, you were mad. Also, I couldn't hear you because you were peeking so fucking hard, so I just let you get away with like saying shit about like 90s cartoons, but that I normally would have called you out on.
Fair enough, yeah. Everyone that worked on that movie, other than the actors, should be fired.
Okay, that's fair.
Paul Feig has no business doing any action movies. He does the comedy stuff all right.
Mm-hmm.
He can stick to that. He was in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. He can go fuck himself. Also Ghostbusters related. If you do want something to watch the real Ghostbusters. That's like probably the best Ghostbusters stuff, to be honest. Fun fact. It's all on YouTube, I believe, actually, or Netflix. I don't remember. But let's
the real Ghostbusters of LA.
So fun fact about that show. The voice of Peter Venkman also was the voice of Garfield, and then Bill Murray voiced Garfield in the movie.
That is actually a fun fact, yes.
Little full circle there. All right, let's go on to the next topic.
Oh, I forgot about Kong versus Godzilla. AVGN was offered a guest spot in the movie, but he had to turn it down because his daughter was being born at the time.
Was he really? I did not know he was offered a role in that movie.
Yeah, I read an argue recently. Not just like a cameo, but he did have to turn it down because his wife was set to get birth. So that's why I was talking about. There's going to be an opening for AVGN topic.
I'll go through. I want to do an actual segment on that because I'm going through all of this stuff again because I tend to watch all this stuff like every year. Mm-hmm. Plus whatever new stuff comes out. So I'm doing that right now. So I'll do a full AVGN thing. He's like the OG of YouTube. So I feel like doing a segment on him would be pretty cool. Yeah,
no, the man's a legend. Like I said before, like I wasn't necessarily inspired by him specifically, but the people I was inspired by were inspired by him. So
no, I definitely take some inspiration from him. So
Okay, so moving on.
Justice League, Zack Snyder edition.
Also a DC movie. Fun fact, just like
Also,
Harley Quinn. You see
yeah,
why
that was
I organized.
and I had to go on my OG of YouTube. He was on Screw Attack. That's right, he was on Screw Attack. I always forget that. Even though I watched like the old stuff where it says part of Screw Attack, and like they're literally all of them are on some of the episodes.
Oh yeah, that does explain why Rooster Teeth had the rights to the AVG and video game for a while.
Yeah,
Because they
they did.
bought
Yeah.
Screw Attack.
Mm-hmm. So 4 hours long. This movie.
Mhm.
4 fucking hours.
I heard it did not need to be.
No. No, it didn't. So here's my initial. This movie is 1,000 times better than the 2017 version, the Justice League version, I'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
It did not need to be 4 hours. There was also 10% of it was in slow motion. There's some stuff that you needed. Some trivia video.
There's some fat trimming right there.
But this movie didn't feel 4 hours either. It was kind of like watching Endgame, where like you're enjoying it, so it doesn't feel like it's super long. I paused it like once, I think almost halfway. Actually, no, like 3 hours in to go to the bathroom, so I wasn't like rearing to go like do stuff. Like I actually sat down and watched this movie.
That's a really good commendation, like Rent Endgame.
I'm in the mood for a horror game. Any recommendations? Resident Evil. Because I'll never play it.
I agree with that, but I feel like Pache has played Resident Evil.
I don't know then.
Yeah,
I'm not the horror game guy.
Yeah, me either.
Play Until Dawn? I don't know.
I hear Until Dawn is good. Anyway, Justice League.
Couldn't get in. That was the Game Boy one, right?
I am actually playing a horror game right now, but I'll talk about it next podcast.
Bores me to sleep, really? I liked it. It's fun. So yeah, the vision Zack Snyder had was 1,000 times better than what we got in the original movie. So watching this movie, I can see exactly what they wanted to do with it. It reminds me so much of Injustice. Is not even funny. It's like almost like a bit for bit, especially in the end stuff. Again, I'm not going to really talk about a lot of stuff, even though this technically is a re-release, so you kind of already know how it ends, but it's kind of different. So I'm not going to go into too many details about like the ending. The whole literally 2/3 of the movie plays out almost exactly the same, except for there's different scenes. The scenes that they took out, I didn't miss. I actually watched the original Justice League a couple days beforehand, just so I can remember what it was, so I can kind of compare the two. The stuff that they put in and the changes that they make are 100% better. And the beginning scene is Darkseid instead of Steppenwolf, and that like in the fight, like in whatever time it was, like the Amazons and the Atlanteans and stuff like that. That seems way better. With Darkseid, it looks better. The CGI doesn't look like shit either. Steppenwolf actually looks intimidating. He doesn't look like Karen Hines. It's fucking perfect. It's like Batman, I think, is a lot better because he's not as jokey as he was in the Justice League. The Flash is way better too. Like every character, like Cyborg actually has an arc because you can, when you're watching the 2017 version, you're like, there's more story here that they cut out for whatever reason. And when you put that back in, like Cyborg is 100 times way better character. Superman is kind of the same. The only real difference is, I believe, one scene and like the ending scene, which, if you remember, like the final fight, it's just 30 seconds and then it's over. It's stupid. It is not in this movie. It's actually like there's consequences to stuff, and I really like it. The stuff with Darkseid is exponentially better than Steppenwolf talking to no one the entire movie. Basically, it doesn't look like he really has a purpose of being there. Like he mentions Darkseid, but you don't see him in the Joss version for whatever. And I don't understand why they took him out, because it would have made more sense to have him in there. But what, I don't know. I'm not Joss Whedon, thank God. It may be better than the original, but Darkseid is, so yeah, not great. I will say, out of Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and this Justice League, this is probably honestly the best one of his movies in the DC universe.
I actually really liked Man of Steel.
I did too.
It's like split right down the middle for a lot of people. I was into Man of Steel. There's definitely some characterization issues with like Pocket, but
I see. I don't mind Pocket in that movie too much. I think he does what he needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of people are pissed that they killed him off, but I feel like it served the story a lot more. But
the scene was stupid. I mean,
yeah. Like Batman vs Superman got that Ultimate Edition that made the movie a little bit better, but I still think that's not a great movie.
That is a bad movie.
Yeah. But Justice League, this version is it's honestly like the fact that he had all this time to work on it too, like it made it so much better.
Yeah, I saw a review for it that goes through it, and there was apparently a really, like, the person watched the original and then watched this right after.
That's what I did, yeah.
Yeah.
Not right after, but a couple days prior.
Mm-hmm. And they said that there's one really weird line read from Gal Gadot in the movie, and then in the Justice League, like the Zack Snyder one, this line is still awkwardly read, but they used a different take that was slightly less awkward than the original.
Which line was that?
It's a line right when Superman gets out of his like coffin. She says, "Kal-El, no." And apparently they use a different take from the line in Zack Snyder's version that is, granted, from what I've seen and heard, still not good, but still better than the one that was used in the original.
I didn't notice that at all, yeah.
Yeah, well, he literally watched them back to back.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah. So it seems like they even like used better takes that Joss Whedon just didn't.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like even the stuff in like the Flash cave, we'll call it.
Mm-hmm.
Like that whole interaction is 100% better, and you can definitely tell that they took that they did different takes, because they did reshoots for that scene too, and none of the reshoot shit was in there, so it looked way better and it flowed a lot better, and it wasn't as stupid.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't jokey and stuff like that. The only line that I'm thankful that they kept in from that whole scene is what are your superpowers again? Oh, I'm rich. I love that line so much. It's true. That's the superpower.
That is Batman's superpower. That and plot armor. Batman has, you cannot disprove this, outside of characters with their power is literally plot armor, and they have plot manipulation abilities. Batman has the most plot armor of any fictional character ever.
100%.
Batman's real superpower is fucking plot armor.
I mean, he got zapped by Omega Beams and somehow just went back.
It's sent back in time. Let me tell you, nothing pisses me off more than that plot line. Fucking hate it.
He becomes a pirate, though.
It's so bad. I hate it so much. Fuck Batman.
I agree, made the ripple effect in this, yeah. Actually, the Snyder fans actually review bomb Godzilla vs Kong because they want to restore the Snyderverse. One thing about Snyder's that he really likes Ayn Rand, and that you can definitely see the adaptation of Now Watch written by Alan Moore. Yeah.
So there is a whole campaign going on that called Restore the Snyderverse, where people want to just retcon the Joss Whedon Justice League completely out of existence in favor of this one. So I guess my question is, how do you feel about the potential of the DC Cinematic Universe receiving a patch? An official patch.
Because if it wasn't for the unfortunate death of Zack Snyder's daughter,
Mm-hmm.
Which at the end he actually says for I can't remember her name, and I'm sorry about that. There's like a nice little tribute to her, and that's really cool. If it wasn't for that, this would have been the road work for the entire DCU. So I'm totally fine with that because I think getting Joss and putting like his brand on the Justice League, like not only did it hurt it, but it hurt what they were trying to build. And I don't want something that's the same as the Marvel Cinematic Universe because we already have that. I want something different, and that's why I like that these movies are a little bit darker, but obviously they could be better. I think this is honestly the best of the bunch. So I really enjoyed this movie. I'm not going to say too much more about it. It's a definite improvement, number one. Every character is 10 times better than the original. If you have the 4 hours to sit down and watch it, I'd recommend it. The stuff that they do put in, some of it
you can also, if you're a crazy person like me, you can watch it in chunks.
Yeah, I considered that, yeah, because I did start it at I think 9 o'clock, and I ended up finishing at 1 o'clock in the morning. But go ahead and watch it if you have HBO Max. It's definitely worth the watch. It's super long, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely plan to watch it at some point because I'm a big DC fan.
Yeah.
Not so much the movies, but
I think you'll enjoy this one. I mean, you're gonna have some problems with some of the stuff, but
when don't I?
Fair enough. Yeah, it was a good watch. It didn't really drag. I mean, there was some things like the excessive slow mo, but I mean, it is what it is. Zack Snyder, you're gonna have aggressive slow mo, so.
All right, so we ready to move?
Let's do it.
All right.
Bloodshot is next up.
Okay, so continuing on with the theme of just doing comic book movies, we have Bloodshot starring Vin Diesel, which is a movie in the Valiant comic universe. Valiant Comics is a relatively newer comic brand. I'm not sure how familiar you are with it, John.
They do Invincible, right?
I think that's Image.
Oh, that's yeah.
I believe that is Image. I said new. Image has been around forever.
Have they? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only thing I know from there is Bloodshot then.
Okay. So I think the Valiant comic universe is fucking terrible. At least it was the last time I checked in on it. Maybe it's gotten better. I don't want to still say it's currently terrible. I haven't checked in a few years, but when I did, it was fucking dumb bullshit. So the movie starring Vin Diesel, it is an absolute piece of shit film.
Figured.
Vin Diesel, totally fine in it. No hate against any of the actors. The movie, written like a goddamn dumpster fire. Falling into a larger Springfield tire fire. And here's the thing. And I know what went wrong with it. So the actors all did fine. The prop department was fine. The CGI was fine. The writing, not great. Definitely could have been better. The biggest issues with the movie are a lot to do with the directing and the editing. So here's the deal with the director. Apparently, the director only directs video game trailers. And this was his first movie. So
recipe for disaster.
Yeah. You can tell that he cared about the movie, but maybe they should have thrown him an assistant director, and then set him up with a real director so that he could learn his craft a little bit. Because so many action scenes in this movie are just shit being vomited onto the screen and you're not sure what's fucking happening. Vin Diesel plays the character Bloodshot. He is a military veteran soldier who ends up getting killed, and he gets brought back with nano machines to basically assassinate people. It's not a good film by any stretch of the imagination. One thing I will appreciate is that there's a main female character in the movie, and they have no romantic development between Bloodshot and the main female lead. And then at the end of the movie, they're staring out at the sunset, and they're talking about everything that happened over the movie. And then they fucking walked in different directions and didn't end up together. I'm like, yes! Yes! Don't force the characters together if there's no chemistry. There was no chemistry. They weren't supposed to be together, and then they fucking weren't. One comical scene in this, though, that gets me... Hey, Kato, what's up? One comical scene in this movie that gets me, though, that I have to talk about that I think was fucking ridiculous, was when Vin Diesel's character, Bloodshot, finds out... By the way, I didn't know the character's name was Bloodshot until the credits of the movie. So that wasn't good. Is that Vin Diesel's like, I'm going to test out my new nanomachine superpowers. So he picks up like a 5-pound weight, and he's like, and he sets that down. And then he picks up like a 10-pound weight, and he sets that down. And then he like picks up a 35-pound weight, and he looks at it, and he's like, I can lift a 35-pound weight? And I'm like, I work out with a 35-pound dumbbell. You mean to tell me that Vin fucking Diesel is surprised he can lift a 35-pound dumbbell? The fuck out of here, movie. Like, when he picked up the 35-pound dumbbell and was like, I was like, no, shut up. Shut the fuck up. There is no way I believe Vin Diesel only works out at my weight. Get the fuck out of here. No, he is not surprised that he can lift that.
The dude's jacked, so...
The dude is jacked! No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you, movie. But yeah, it wasn't great. But, so I got this on Netflix, and I watched through the credits, and then at the end, it did this, like, dumb thing where it auto-played into the director's commentary, which it's not supposed to. You're not supposed to be able to access the director's commentary on Netflix. And I'm not joking, the director's commentary on this movie was better than the actual movie. So, shout out to Bloodshot.
Interesting.
Okay.
The trailer for that was awful, so I was just like, I'm just gonna skip that.
I mean, it looks okay, pretty, like, sometimes. It's just, like, it's so stupid. It's such a stupid movie.
So if you're looking for a stupid movie, go watch Bloodshot on Netflix.
Yeah. You can tell they had fun making it, though.
That's
so,
cool.
Yeah. They clearly had fun with it, which I like. So, yeah, good job, Kaito. You dumpster on them 6-year-olds. If you like stupid movies, give Vin Diesel's Bloodshot a shot, then. It's not good, but...
Does he say family at all in the movie?
Maybe? Because he had a girlfriend.
But does he have a family?
Technically, no, because his girlfriend leaves him.
Oh.
That was a spoiler, and I shouldn't have said it.
Nobody's gonna watch this movie.
You're right. Nobody's gonna watch this movie. Spoiler!
Spoiler, this shit sucks.
Alright, moving on?
Moving on to Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm. Just a side note, Fight Club has now made it so that the standard time of this podcast is like an extra 30 minutes than it used to be. Are we okay with that?
Yeah, whatever.
All right. If you're good, I'm good. All right. I was going to say Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Captain Falcon and the Super Soldier, yeah. So there's been 3 episodes released so far. I'm not going to talk too much about it. I just want to say the show is very good. This is going to be a very quick one.
I thought you were going to make the joke. This show is very good. Next topic.
I consider that. I just want to say a couple things. Mandripoor looks cool. The Avengers don't get paid. And that's about it.
You thought the Avengers got paid? Of course they don't get paid.
Yeah, apparently Twitter went into a tizzy about that too, which was really funny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because, I mean, minor spoilers, but Falcon goes to get a bank loan, and his sister's like, why do you need a bank loan? And he's like, we don't get paid. What are you talking about? I need this. I need a loan, man.
Isn't Falcon? But Falcon is in like the CIA or some shit, right? Or the FBI, like Homeland Security. One of those three things I just said. He should be getting paid.
He is now, yeah. So when he was on the Avengers, and then they obviously went on the run for a couple of years, he was not getting paid.
Oh, because he went on the run for because I know he had a government job in the previous movie. So I was like, this man should be getting money.
Yeah, in Winter Soldier, he was a therapist, kind of like he was like a active duty like therapy type of dude. Like he would do that stuff.
Yeah, someone who should be getting paid. But yeah, no, like, would you want the Avengers getting paid? Like, realistically, let's set ourselves into a superhero world. Would you want them to get paid? Because that would incentivize people to try to join the Avengers not out of altruism, but out of financial gain.
No,
like, would you want your world saviors who repel alien invasions and gods and like small children that can manipulate reality? Would you want them with financial incentive? I wouldn't.
No thanks. That's why I don't understand why everyone's upset about that. Because I'm like, the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Tony's dead.
I mean, like, morally they should be getting paid, but realistically, please keep money out of my superheroes.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, Batman has enough. But yeah, if you have Disney Plus, go check it out if you haven't yet. I just wanted to give it basically a shout. I'm waking up in 6 hours to go watch the next episode. So
yeah, I've watched all of the Marvel shows, I think, except for like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I thought was really boring, and I didn't make it through like the Punisher show.
Punisher's okay. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is good in some areas.
Yeah. So, maybe one day I'll get into it. Here's the thing. No offense to Falcon or the Winter Soldier. I don't like them as characters.
I don't either. I just want to know what happens with.
I mean, I didn't even like the Winter Soldier movie, so.
Oh God, that's. Yeah.
I'm sure that's controversial. I know. I understand. It's just like I thought it was so boring.
Did you watch WandaVision yet?
I have not seen WandaVision.
It's a good watch.
Not. Sorry.
It's good. It's a good show.
Yeah. I like Eldritch Blast. Oh God, is Pache going Warlock? Yeah, all right. I'm you good to move on? This is your time. I was almost saying I'm good to move on. This is not my fucking topic.
No, we're good, yeah. Go watch it. It's not done yet.
All right, I watched Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of Skywalker.
I'm sorry.
You've seen it, I take it.
I saw it in theaters.
All right, so I came to this interesting conclusion after watching Episode 8, where I was watching Episode 8, and I'm like, man, this is fucking boring. This movie sucks. I know you like it. That movie sucks.
I didn't like what? Which one?
Episode 8.
The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
I like that movie.
That movie sucks. Here's my counterpoint. Because everyone always says the same thing about why Last Jedi is such a good movie, is they always say, oh, it's so subversive. It like, goes away from your expectations. Being subversive does not make a good movie.
No, that's not the reason why I like it.
Oh, what is the reason you like it?
See, I just like it. So a lot of people, I like the way they meld the stories together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like, unfortunately, it being Carrie Fisher's last official movie too. Like, I think the way they portrayed her character was really good in that movie too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have problems with the Luke stuff, but I mean,
I have problems with the Leia stuff. Honestly, like, without getting too into it, I thought the like Rebels like hierarchy plan was fucking awful. Like, from a strategic standpoint, it was like run away until we all eventually escape/die.
It's not a bad plan. I just think the only really bad part is the casino shit. I don't care about that at all.
Mm-hmm.
I like the stuff with Rey and Kylo in that movie too. Like, I thought it was neat, and then they kind of just like did whatever.
Well, they kind of wasted it, right? Like, they
Yeah.
almost built, like, how much more interesting, like, if he wants to subvert, like, if he wanted to subvert expectations, which was his stated goal anyway, it would have been make more sense to go all the fucking way in, right? What if she did join Kylo? How much, and then they set her up as the villain in the last movie? How much better would that have been?
That would have been 100 times better.
Like, it's like he specifically said, oh, I want to subvert your expectations with film. He said this, so I'm not putting words in his mouth. But then he didn't go all the way with it. He kind of half-assed it. It's like, nah, dog, go for it. If you're gonna go for it, go for it.
I also feel like originally that was his plan, but then Disney's like...
Disney was like, no. You know what? If that is true, if Disney put the kibosh on it, I will forgive that movie.
Yeah. I feel like they did.
If he wanted to go for it, and Disney was like, "No, just regular go for it, though. Don't go fucking ham." then all is forgiven. But yeah, no, not a fan of that movie. But that movie came to the realization for me. Also, by the way, shout out to Pache watching the whole Crap Guide to D&D series. That's a really good way to get a general ground for surface level idea of D&D.
I'll have to watch that too.
I would recommend bare minimum, John, speaking of D&D, that you watch the character sheet one I linked in Discord. It's a little more informative than anything, but it gets you the idea of how your character sheet works. To think the rebels from 4 to 6 would be government, and the First Order would be some weird space Nazis. Anyway, so about Rise of Skywalker, though. The movie... hang on, Episode 8. Yeah, I realized during Episode 8, I don't like Star Wars. I realize, like... I know it's a joke that Star Wars fans don't like Star Wars, but I was calling myself a Star Wars fan up to Episode 8, where I realized, oh my god, I don't like Star Wars. Which is the eventual evolution of all Star Wars fans. Is the final stage of Star Wars fandom death, is acceptance. Oh shit, am I not a Star Wars fan? I liked Expanded Universe, but that's all been decanonized. That's not Star Wars anymore. And the Clone Wars TV show is really good. Rebels is hit and miss, really. But as far as the like movies came for, I only ever liked one Star Wars movie. I realized I only ever liked A New Hope. I thought all the others were like boring or terrible.
Fair enough.
Including Rogue One, for the record.
So good.
Really? I don't know. Anyway, but it had like the best scene in all of Star Wars, which is Darth Vader murdering the fuck out of those dudes. Yeah, so I realized during Episode 8 I don't even fucking like Star Wars, so I got conned into watching this movie. So I watched this fucking movie, and it isn't good. It's not terrible. Well, okay, it's a little terrible. All right, I take it back. It's not unwatchable. I take it back. You know what? It is terrible, but it's not unwatchable. It's really confused as to what the fuck is happening. Like, they suddenly just develop the ability to, like, telepathically talk across planets. I don't Like, and then there's a fight scene between Rey and, like, Kylo, and they're inside of his bedroom, and they're fighting, and they can see each other enough to fight, but it's cutting back and forth, and, like, it's physically damaging the environments of both locations, so it's like they're holographically projecting each other into a fight scene, and then after the Darth Vader mask gets smashed, Kylo's like, oh shit, you're in my bedroom. And I'm like, wait a minute, you could psychically project enough to fight and respond to her in combat, but you're not capable of seeing your own bedroom? I don't know how this power works.
It's stupid.
It's really stupid. If I want to get anything across, this movie is really fucking stupid. It's not unwatchable. But it is not by any metric a good film. And I here's the thing, like, watching the movie, I was pretty on board for most of it. It's a 2.5 hour movie. For the first 2 hours, I'm like, this is really stupid, but I'm having fun making fun of it. And then at the end of the movie, I got, like, so mad I threw a chair and walked out of the room.
Sounds about right.
Because there's a scene where they're fighting at the end. I'm gonna spoil this movie. I don't give a shit. Where they're fighting like Palpatine at the end, and like Rey's on the ground after like losing, and Palpatine is firing space lightning and blowing up ships all across the fucking planet. And Rey's sitting there, and you hear the fucking ghost of Mace Windu start talking to her, and I'm like, wait a minute. And then you hear all of the like Jedi Order from the past start talking to her, being like, "You can do it, Rey. You're the strongest. You're the hope of the Jedi now." And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" The entire Jedi, and they're like, "The Jedi Order is within you." And then I threw a fucking chair and walked out of the room because that is infuriating.
You're not wrong.
Oh my god. Like, the first 2 hours, okay. Definitely not good. Okay. Really stupid. Fun to make fun of. The last half hour, absolutely enraging.
Who are you, Rey? Rey Skywalker.
Rey Skywalker.
No, you ain't, bitch.
Fucking god damn it. Yeah, Rey is terrible, by the way. She blows up Chewie and then mourns for like half a second.
I hate that scene because I knew he wasn't dead.
Yeah. Oh, I saw like a thing about people were upset on, I think, Twitter or something, that Poe and Finn had like this like romantic relationship in the previous movies and they didn't deliver on it in this film. And I'm like, what the fuck are you people talking about? And then this movie comes around and they have a sort of romantic tension. And at the end of the movie, I'm like, you know what? I didn't get it before. I want these two to get together. Can we get Finn and Poe together at the end of this film? And then they don't. But how much better would it have been if they did? And they have that like random lesbian couple in like the back. But if you want to be inclusive, Disney, Finn and Poe had the most chemistry. Hello, expanded universe material. Get on that shit.
Let's get Star Wars the Snyder cut going.
Yeah, literally directed by Zack Snyder. Yeah. All right. That was it. This movie isn't good.
Movie sucks.
First 2 hours are watchable, and then it just devolves into... I turned into the Incredible Hulk. I destroyed the Eastern Seaboard by stepping. It wasn't great.
Yeah, I was sitting in the theater, probably around the part where you threw that chair, and I'm just like, I could just leave right now and not see the rest of the company. But I paid for it, so I have to stay.
Yeah. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, Star Wars. They really did kill you.
They did.
They really did kill you. All right. I don't actually know what's next up on the list. It's 12.
And next is
your album, right?
Review time.
Okay.
Yeah, album review time.
I thought this was a video game. This looks like a video game. When I saw it in the thing, I'm like, oh, cool. What video game did he play?
This is not a video game. It's a new album. It came out on March 5th. I've been jamming it all month. It's a Brand of Sacrifice. They're relatively new.
Almost looks Berserk inspired, this cover. Does that look kind of like Slod with the eclipse in the background sitting on the hand representing the God Hand?
Yeah. Oh, actually, their last album was called God Hand.
So it was Berserk inspired, probably.
It might be, yeah. I never put that correlation together. So yeah, this album came out last month. Very good deathcore album. Easily recommended. Some of the best guest spots too. Has a random guest spot from a guy who's in a completely different genre type of band, which I thought was really interesting that they got him, A, and B, he wanted to be on it. It's very much if you're not into music about the devil, then don't listen to it because it actually is music about the devil. But I mean, I'm
like, par with Lil Nas X.
Less gay stuff though. I don't want to sit. I don't believe in either heaven, health stuff. So that's why I kind of look past it. I just like it for the music. Lyrically, it's still good. The song "Animal" is probably my favorite off it. Conceptually wise, this band does a very good job actually bringing a concept and making it to a full album. They did that with their last album, God Hand, which came out in 2019. And also a very good album, which now that you mentioned it, does kind of remind me of Berserk. So, but yeah, this it's a solid album if you're into the type of music. Go give it a listen. I'll support these guys on Spotify. Some really good guest spots. Go check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we get a score?
I'll give it a 8.5 out of 10. It was a very good evolution from the last album. The vocals are way better. The sound design is way better. The instruments are way better. Like I said, they came in with 5 different vocal guest spots too, which was really cool. All of them very good vocalists except for one, but you can't even tell he's in the song, so that's why I kind of look past it. But yeah, I'd give it a solid 8.5. It's really good.
Okay. So next up is sort of a hybrid topic. In preparation for Fight Club, like I said, I watched every episode. I watched all of Dragon Ball Super. And oh shit, I hadn't realized this was made by, I guess shout out to Windy Echoes for the layout. Anyway, yeah. So I watched every episode of like Dragon Ball Super, and I watched the Broly movie. So I guess we decided to talk about Dragon Ball Super and the Broly movie. I'll bring this up on the episode of Water I'm working on, which is like 11 or 12 or something. But we'll have a real discussion here. So I don't know. Do you have a specific topic, John, for this? Or are we just gonna freeball it?
Just freeball it.
Mm-hmm.
Where does it stack up with the other series?
With the other Dragon Balls?
Out of all 4 of them.
Well, okay. So
we count GT on the show.
I actually have not watched the original Dragon Ball all the way through.
What?
Yeah.
It's the best anime. It's the best anime.
I'll admit it. I have actually not seen the original Dragon Ball all the way through. But I have seen Z and GT. So, thinking about it, I would say GT had some good things about it, but it also was kind of like slow and dull in places.
Yeah, GT really only is good if you watch from Baby and up.
Mm-hmm. And like Dragon Ball Z, after like I rated Super, I gave Super a 7 out of 10. I was like, because I had Z at like a 6. I'm like, do I need to increase Z? I'm like, probably. There's a lot of great moments in Z.
Mm-hmm.
But then I thought about it even harder, and I realized, no, Z is a 6, and here's why. Because a thing that Toriyama does really well, if I might talk about it, is that he creates these moments in Dragon Ball that, like, they stick with you forever. Mm-hmm. They are just, like, engraved onto your soul when they come out. And like Vegeta's final explosion, or Gohan's transformation to Super Saiyan 2, shit like that. Like, shit that just, like, sticks with you. But when you think about how like amazing and epic those moments are, easily 9 out of 10 moments, what you also forget is that in an episode of Dragon Ball Z, there is a solid at least 5 minutes of screaming.
Yeah.
And there's like 10 to 20 to 30 episodes of jack shit happening just fucking either nothing is happening or the characters are just awkwardly standing there with like shitty animation, or there'll just be like mini arcs where nothing is happening and it's just like a complete waste of time. It like drags its ass throughout the whole show. So although there's moments of like amazing shit, and I noticed this while watching Super, Dragon Ball has terrible fucking fight choreography. It is absolutely abysmal. Like Dragon Ball Z did, and so does Super, where they're just like punching each other. And I thought that was really cool as a kid. And now as an adult, I realized, no, these fights are bad. These are bad fights. These fights are not good fights. So I would actually say, of the 3 I've seen, because one day I will get on to Dragon Ball. It is on the list, because it's one of the dropped anime I have, and I'm going to watch all my dropped anime, so I guess they're not really dropped. But I will say, of the three I've watched, I actually liked Super the most.
That's fair, yeah. It's very well paced, in my opinion.
Keep in mind,
there's not boring episodes.
There are a lot of boring episodes.
Not fair.
But what I will say about like Dragon Ball Super is like obviously I like Dragon Ball. Like I grew up watching Dragon Ball Z. But it's no longer like in my favorites, and it kind of hasn't been for a long time. But I do like Dragon Ball, you know, and there's always gonna be like a soft spot in your heart for like your first several anime. So, Sailor Moon is still decent. Some of the seasons. Some of the seasons are decent. Like Super S is not good.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it. Megan and I want to watch all of it. So
yeah, it's worthwhile. You can see Sailor Moon being a fucking crazy overpowered monster.
I'm looking forward to it.
Literally shooting at universes. But yeah, what I will say about Dragon Ball Super is it manages to create great moments of dramatic tension, especially during the Goku Black arc. And it manages to create interesting character dynamics and the fucking shit they do with Vegeta. Like, I always said Vegeta was one of the only 3 well-written characters in Dragon Ball, but in Super, he really became the best character in Dragon Ball.
No, he's really good.
Like at the fucking the end of his arc at fucking Super, as long as they stay the course, is goddamn amazing. Like, I could not believe it, and I cheered out loud when just he dug so deep, he created a new transformation that even Goku hadn't reached yet. Just like thinking about like his friends and the other Saiyans and like his responsibilities and like his fucking stand against Jiren. We all knew it was impossible. There was no way, but he kept fucking trying. And every time he almost went down, he was just like, nah, I'm gonna keep going. And he dug a little bit deeper. And like, with as prideful as he was, at the end, as he was falling, when he gave Goku just enough power to stand up, you know, like, that is big for Vegeta. He would never have done that before. He literally entrusted Goku with his hopes and dreams at the end there. Like, that is a fucking character arc and a half.
Yeah, and they do a lot better with Vegeta in Super than they do in GT, and that's one of the reasons why I like him more. Because Vegeta in GT is just dad, just a dad. He goes shopping with his daughter, and like that's like his whole arc. Yeah. It's not really his whole arc, but you know, he does come back at the end, obviously, to be a badass. But like they actually like give him more development in Super, which makes it a lot more fun to watch. And they do that more in the manga too. Like, they're basically setting him up to be the next god of destruction, which I think is like a perfect evolution for him.
No, yeah, it's definitely fitting. Other thing I want to talk about the 3 good characters in Dragon Ball. Gohan had a bit of an arc in this as well. He started off fucking terrible, and everyone hated it ever since the Resurrection F movie where he could barely turn Super Saiyan. But he comes back as sort of like a part-time fighter and like the tactician of the group, and they really start bringing Gohan back into the fold. I'd be interested to see where he keeps developing, if he keeps going part-time like Krillin and improving his skills. I will say they forgot how Gohan's transformation works, because Mystic Gohan is not a fucking transformation, it's his base form.
Oh yeah, that kind of
they fucking forgot how his transformations work. His base form is Mystic. He doesn't turn into it. Speaking of characters whose transformations they fucking forgot, we didn't address this, but I also have seen but I watched the anime versions of Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, and they are abysmally fucking boring. Yeah, he does fight Arale. He does not win. She beats everyone's ass.
Yep.
You know who another character they forgot how their fucking transformations work? Frieza. You do know what's wrong with Frieza's golden form, correct?
No.
So, the funnest thing about Frieza that I always appreciated, that they literally fucking forgot because the writers are idiots, is that Frieza does not transform to make himself stronger. He transforms to make himself weaker. That was always the coolest thing about Frieza, is that his final form is his actual physical true form, and he transforms downward. And when he transforms upward from, like, the weak, tiny version of himself, that's him making himself stronger by just increasing the amount of power he is outputting. So, if final form is Frieza's true form, what the fuck is Golden? Like, what is it?
It's Super Saiyan Frieza.
It's like, this is my true form. Also, I'm going to transform upward. I guess he can... I don't know. Maybe it's like an overload. Like, he's, like, blowing all of his energy to go up. Maybe Frieza can just freely make up transformations. I don't know. He did say he chose gold.
He did, yeah.
But that's also why Frieza can casually stay in final form, where no one else can stay at their final, like, their ultimate forms without, like, powering down. Is because for Frieza, that's just like walking around like a normal dude.
It's true, yeah.
Like, him being in final form is the equivalent of you walking to your car.
I do that a lot.
Yeah, so that's what it's like for Frieza with his golden form. Battle of Gods is stupid. It's just stupid.
Yeah,
it's a stupid fucking plot line. The universe is gonna blow up. The fucking ritual to merge into a Super Saiyan God that came out of nowhere. It's fucking dumb.
I liked it when it first came out, and then when I watched it again and then rewatched it when I watched Super, I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, Resurrection F is not good either. It's
boring.
Not stupid. It's just boring. Yeah. The tournament against Universe 6 I thought was pretty fun. I liked seeing the little dynamic fighters. I liked Hit. What I will say is Dragon Ball Super brought in a lot of cool new characters. I like basically I like almost all of the new cast. What I actually think is that they did such a good job at making new characters that they did a terrible job at handling their old characters.
Dragon Ball fights are like watching two cats at each other.
It really is. You're not wrong. Oh yeah, I love fucking Auntie Piccolo. Auntie Piccolo is the best. Where he's like, he comes back and he's like, make sure to change your diapers. You gotta, there's milk in the fridge. She likes to wander around. You gotta watch her on that. And like that scene where Goku's like talking to Piccolo and he's like, he's like, don't talk to me, Goku. I'm grilling. Oh, Auntie fucking Piccolo is the best. So yeah, the three already well-written Dragon Ball characters, they did a pretty good job handling. They did a nice little interesting arc with Krillin as well. I appreciated that. Trunks came back. He had a romance with Mai, which is weird.
Yeah, that was super strange.
As an adult, I'm okay with it. It's the implied romance between young Mai and young Trunks where I'm like, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah,
because she's 40.
I had a problem with it. Like, they don't do shit with Goten and Trunks.
Nobody cares about Goten and Trunks, though.
I know, but it was like they were such a pivotal part to Boo Saga, and now they're just like, yeah, Bulma does have a new voice actor in Super. Yeah, I think it's the same one as Dragon Ball Kai, but it's definitely different from Z. Don't quote me on it, but it might be. I think that's the case. Yeah. Yeah, but they just don't do anything with Trunks and Gohan or Trunks and Goten. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
I don't like Trunks and Goten as children anyway, so it didn't matter to me.
I think it's like that was the thing with GT that I liked is that they aged him up and made Trunks like obviously the cooler one, and then Goten was kind of like, I want to hang out with girls.
So the real cooler one, if we're being honest.
Oh yeah, he's a real But no, super solid. Yeah. I think I gave it about the same. I gave it a 7 when I finally watched it all, and I really enjoyed it.
The Goku Black arc was really good at the beginning, and then it got kind of weird and dumb.
Yeah, teeters, right? Yeah.
And by the way, I just want to say something because this is like a claim I've been. People say that Jiren is stronger than Infinite Zamasu. No, he fucking isn't. No, he fucking isn't. Shut up. People take this like line where Goku's like, "Wow, if only I had a Senzu bean," to mean that like Goku could beat fucking Infinite Zamasu if he had a Senzu bean. Goku wasn't even able to beat fucking Zamasu without him being the size of a universe.
True.
Also, welcome, Butt Sutthole. What are my thoughts on Tarble? Tarble's okay. I don't actually know if I've seen that special, so I can't talk too much about him. He gets mentioned, so...
He does get mentioned, yeah.
Like, twice. Yeah, Goku Black Arc. And then, yeah, the Tournament of Power, I'm kind of in the middle of. I want to talk... I am sorry that this segment is going to be very long. I have a lot to say about this 131 episode series. The Tournament of Power, I'm a little like iffy on. What I will say about Super overall as a show is it does a really good job developing some of the characters and introducing new characters, and it manages to create good like character dynamics and like dynamic and like dramatic tension. And it also surprisingly has some really good comedy scenes that I really liked.
It does, yeah.
But goddamn, are most of the fights super boring. Like, it's the exact opposite of what you'd think, where it's like, man, whenever they're at home fucking around with the baby, I love it. And then they fight each other and fuck.
No, that's fair, yeah.
Fuck, is it not good? Because, yeah, it has the worst fight choreography. If I may, I know exactly where it goes wrong. So there's basically two like ways to do fights. You can either do super technical fights with like high strategy, or you can do big ol' spectacle fights where shit like explodes all over the place, right? The problem with Dragon Ball Super, and I believe the original Dragon Ball as well, is it has elements of like strategy and technique to it, but it doesn't fully commit to being all about strategy and technique. Like, you don't always know what the characters are doing or why they're doing it. But on the other hand, it doesn't go full spectacle either. Like, shit's not always constantly exploding and they're not constantly one-upping themselves. So it ends up following in this, like, it almost goes technical and it almost goes spectacle, but it doesn't commit to either side, and it ends up just falling flat in most of the fights where they're just ineffectually punching each other. So I'm a little disappointed about that.
No, I see where you're coming from with that, and yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
I like the character development for Beerus, how he was like a dick at the beginning, and at the end, he's just like their funny cat grandpa, or funny cat uncle.
Yeah, they just
like in the Broly movie, they're like, "Well, we're going to the Arctic. Here you go, Beerus," and Beerus is like, "Wait, what?" And, like, if they'd done that in movie 1, Beerus is like, okay, I'm blowing up the baby. But, like, it all the way at the end in the Broly movie, it's like, here, take the baby, Beerus. And Beerus is like, oh, god damn it, fine. Give me the baby.
Perfect character arc.
Yeah, it's a really entertaining character arc. Like, you could tell he genuinely comes to care about them. They also introduce a bunch of new characters that I will go over the ones that I found most interesting. Hit. I love Hit. Hit's great.
It's cool, yeah.
First off, Hit has one of the most interesting power sets in Dragon Ball. He's like a Goldo, but cooler.
Goldo's fucking awful.
He's like Goldo, but cooler. And there is a line, I watched English dub because, you know, no offense to the legendary Masaka Nozawa, you are an 80-year-old grandma playing a 55-year-old grandfather. And that's like most of the cast. They just don't fit very well. But yeah, in the original sub version, when Hit attacks Jiren asks, "What are you doing?" and Hit says, "Working." And that's so much cooler than what he says in the dub. Because Hit's an assassin, so it's like he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you." That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hit's cool. He's got a cool power set. I like that he's an assassin, and I like that he just like Goku is... we forgot to talk about intelligence during Goku versus Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon is a complete idiot. She's like the second stupidest anime main character I can think of. I think Goku might be mentally retarded, though.
You're wrong.
He hires an assassin to kill him, and then the assassin kills him. Almost instant. He just puts his ass down.
Get what you pay for.
Yeah. He's like, all right, I'm going to hire an assassin. Oh, fuck. I did not live that. And I love that, like, Hit's like, I don't want to do this, Goku. And Goku's like, nah, I'm here for a fight. And then Hit's like, okay. And then Goku's like, oh, God, why am I dying? Oh, God, you killed me immediately. So Hit's awesome.
Hit was pretty cool.
Love Hit. I'm just looking at these like new character introductions. Oh yeah, Kale and Caulifla. So they're a little controversial. I actually like them.
I like them a lot too. Yeah.
Not super big into Kale myself, but I really liked Caulifla. She's like Vegeta if Vegeta was a punk. She's like young Vegeta. And I appreciate that. And I like that they actually managed to like build in a sort of like mirrored mentorship between her and Goku, like Kaba has with Vegeta. Oh yeah, and Kaba's cool.
Kaba's
this like
cool too, yeah.
demure like Saiyan. What also is really cool about Kale and Caulifla is that when asked years and years ago why there wasn't any female Super Saiyans or any Saiyans, female Saiyans in Dragon Ball, Toriyama said, because I can't figure out what a female Super Saiyan would look like. I don't understand how he could have this problem. But that was his reasoning for there not being any female Saiyans. And so Dragon Ball Super answers the question by going, yeah, no, it turns out it's really fucking easy to figure out what is female Saiyan. What do you mean you can't figure it out? You make bigger muscles, turn their eyes green, and add yellow hair. It's not hard.
I think that's what everyone was pissed about. GT was Pan never went Super Saiyan either.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it would have been so easy to do.
Yeah, it's not confusing. I don't understand how you could even have the problem.
No, it doesn't make any sense to me.
One thing I was disappointed about with the Broly movie is they never address Kale, even though they both turn legendary Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
I was like, they don't even mention Kale, but they've all seen her do it, so I don't know why she didn't come out. It's not like she's not canon.
I don't think... Did they even mention Jiren in that movie?
No.
Yeah.
They mentioned strong fighters from another universe is the phrase.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't remember that, yeah.
Goku Black is cool as an entity and a concept. His delivery leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, it's piss poor execution in my
yeah, not the best. And I think the final character I want to talk about is Jiren. Every time you say Jiren, I picture Jiren Kuzunoha. So here, Jiren is very controversial. A lot of people are very disappointed about Jiren. How do you feel about Jiren?
I love his voice because it matches his body type perfectly. I was kind of disappointed because I wanted Goku to lose that fight. I wanted him to lose that fight.
Okay.
But he didn't.
So here's my opinions about Jiren. My opinions about Jiren are actually, you know what? You should probably get a poncho. Real quick.
A poncho?
Yeah, because you're in the splash zone. I fucking love Jiren so goddamn much! Are you kidding me? Jiren's like one of my new... Jiren instantly catapulted himself into my top 5 favorite Dragon Ball characters. I fucking love Jiren. And I know people don't like Jiren because they're like, oh, his backstory is boring. I don't give a fuck about Jiren's backstory. Jiren's backstory is not the point of Jiren. The point of Jiren is that he's really fucking strong. And, like, so's Goku Black and Beerus and whatever. No big deal, right? But the point about Jiren that I love is that he's so strong, it's like... It like becomes a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he literally shits on your anime tropes. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, Goku shows up and he's like, hey, Jiren, I want to fight. And Jiren's just like, get the fuck away from me. And Goku's like, whoa, shit, how'd you get behind me? And then, like, Goku fights Jiren, and, like, he goes through his transformations, and, like, progressively, and Jiren's just like, yep, blocking you with one finger. God, you suck at fighting. What is this bullshit? And then, like, Goku, like, he transforms into his strongest phase, and it just straight up fails to do anything to Jiren. And Krillin's like, well, what if Goku goes Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan Kaioken times 20? And Beerus is like, yeah, he already did that. Like, Jiren shit on Goku's strongest form so hard, it wasn't even worth noting that he was going all out at one point. And then Goku, like, does the thing he does when he fights an opponent he can't fucking beat. He summons the Spirit Bomb, and you have this epic, like, moment where all of the fighters of Universe 7, like, all of Universe 7 is, like, fueling energy for this massive Spirit Bomb. And then it flies down at Jiren, and they're like, oh, yeah, and the music is swelling, and you're like, yeah, we're gonna fucking beat Jiren with the power of friendship. And then Jiren stares at the Spirit Bomb really hard, and it gets scared, and the music stops, and then it starts going back at Goku. Like, Jiren has the ability to just look at your energy, and your energy's like, I don't want to fucking touch him. I'm scared of this man. And then, like, Goku, like, powers up, and, like, he's, like, pushing the Spirit Bomb, and then Jiren just raises a hand. And it's getting closer, and then he goes all the way to Kaioken times 20, Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan. And, like, it's about to touch Jiren, and then Jiren just raises a second hand. And it fucking smashes his ass. So it starts off with him sandbagging Goku's strongest form. Then it fucking goes, he uses the power of friendship to summon a Spirit Bomb. Jiren sandbags the Spirit Bomb. Then Goku pulls a plot power out of his ass that I'll complain about in a moment, with Ultra Instinct. And then Jiren sandbags Ultra Instinct because he still beats his ass. And then it goes on even for, and then Hit shows up, and Hit's, you know, Goku has never really beaten Hit. And so, like, fucking Hit shows up, and Hit can't fucking beat Jiren. Like, there's this scene where Jiren blasts away Goku with one hand, and then at the same time, Hit time stops and tries to attack Jiren, and Jiren still blocks it. He's not even looking at Hit. He just blocks his attack. And then Hit throws everything, but in the fucking kitchen sink at Jiren, and then he freezes him in an alternate dimension, and then Jiren breaks the alternate dimension, and then throws Hit out of the ring. And you're like, holy shit, Jiren, calm down. Like, that's another trope about, like, the hero can't beat him, so, like, the hero's, like, rivals, like, only I can beat him. Oh, shit, no, I can't. Oh, fuck. Tosses his out of the ring. There's an amazing line in the sub that is not in the dub, so that's why we didn't use it, where they say that Jiren must be stronger than time. Which is fucking amazing. And then... Oh, go.
That's an aggressive statement, and I love it.
Yeah. And then he fucking fights, Kale goes bonkers. He beats the shit out of Kale. So the Berserk enemy can't toss him out of the field either, even though Kale has one of the highest elimination records in the tournament. Then Vegeta is fighting him, and Vegeta's like, I'm the strongest. And Jiren's like, sure, whatever, dude. And then he digs deep, and he creates a new transformation. And then Jiren sandbags the new transformation. So there's always that anime trope of the character developing a new transformation in order to beat an enemy that's too strong for them to defeat. Jiren overcomes that twice. Then he starts fighting Ultra Instinct Goku. Then he starts beating the shit out of Ultra Instinct Goku. Then they use teamwork to try and fight him all at the same time. That doesn't work. He beats them anyway. Then Goku develops a new second transformation in the same tournament to fight Jiren. And still doesn't beat Jiren with it. And at the end, they do not knock Jiren out. He is defeated by Frieza and Goku suicide tackling him out of the ring because he was so strong that the only way to win was to sacrifice themselves. He's so strong, he breaks all of the anime tropes. It's amazing. I love him. He's fucking great.
He's a sweet character.
It's just fucking ridiculous, and I love him. And he's also like weirdly respectful in battles. He's
Yeah,
like,
he
"You
is.
did well, good job. Now get the fuck out of the ring, though, for realsies."
Here, I got you this little token of appreciation.
Yeah, he's like shockingly like polite to his enemies. Like he like when Goku comes up to fight him after Vegeta gets eliminated, he like compliments Vegeta. It's like, that was really impressive. He really went for it. He didn't win, but he really went for it. Good job, Vegeta. And I just like that they don't really beat him. Like, even at the end, he's not really, like, they don't take him out, or, like, take him down. They just fucking suicide tackle. They Hail Mary his ass out of a ring.
Yeah, that was actually like I thought that was like the perfect ending, because it's like they can always come back to it now, and it's not going to be like boring.
Yeah, he's also like this, like, he's like hit now. He's like this hanging, like, sword of Damocles over their heads, and it's like there's always Jiren.
Yeah, that's one of the things I thought Dragon Ball Z did poorly, was like they had this concept for a villain and they kind of threw it away. I mean, like they kept like Majin Buu around, but like he basically became useless after a while. He had more use in GT than he did in Super, in my opinion, because of Manjub and all that.
I think Majin Buu is fucking terrible.
Majin Buu is, he's hit and miss for me.
Yeah. Yeah, that is my fucking love of Jiren. One thing I will say, there is an amazing Drawfee skit. If you're familiar with the channel of Drawfee, it's a bunch of artists drawing characters that they've never heard of or seen before, where they were asked to draw Jiren, and after like talking about how Jiren is a member of the Pride Troopers, they clarify, not granted, this is the artist that, you know, doesn't know anything about Jiren because they haven't seen the show. They're like, not that kind of pride though. And then someone's like, well, what if it was that kind of pride? What if, hypothetically, at the end, Jiren's like, do you want to know the secret to my power? The love of my husband, Greg. And I know it's not canon, but it's canon in my heart that Jiren's real power comes from the love of his husband, Greg. I wish it was true. It's not, but...
Super
Super S. Dragon Ball Super S, get on it.
Get on it.
But yeah, it's a pretty decent show overall. Jiren is sick. I love Jiren. I'm sorry that took a half hour.
Okay.
We weren't even going to talk about this, but like, I had to suck Jiren's dick.
You must be Greg.
You know what? Who wouldn't want to be Greg? Look at the man. He's so built smooth, like a wall on steroids.
Steroid wall.
All
right. Time for that bird.
All right, here we go. The final segment of the Cold Topic podcast. Anime Dartboard. The only show on the internet where we dive into the strange, ethereal void of my plan to watch list, and we pull out a color from space.
Yeah.
I've done better, but I decided to go Lovecraft with that one.
Yeah, no, that was good.
Thank you.
No.
This one was Rampo Kitan, Game of Laplace. How'd you feel about Rampo Kitan, Game of Laplace?
I actually enjoyed this show. It was a solid watch. Like, it was only 11 episodes, but the super is supposed to sing as Shinji. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, like it was paced pretty well. Like, and I like that the story like culminates within the episode within by the end, and like they kind of started in like episode 3 or 4, I think, like that, and then you get that ending in episode 11, which is really nice. And it kind of goes through it all.
So okay, so you've seen the whole thing. I need to ask you this question because maybe you saw something I missed. Why in the ending credit scene of the final episode is the teacher in a cast?
I don't know.
Excuse me. Because we know she jumped out of the window, but when she jumped out of the window, she came back wearing bandages.
Yeah.
So we know it wasn't from jumping out of the window. So, like, the fuck?
I have no idea.
Okay, all right. As long as I thought I was like, did I miss this? What the fuck happened here?
Yeah, like because I was watching and I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah,
like whatever.
I didn't fucking understand what happened. Yeah, I did not like this. Actually,
You didn't? Okay.
I didn't. Now, granted, I think that there are some real interesting implications here with the show, like how the police are becoming increasingly more ineffective, or the concept of a sort of crime-defeating Laplace demon. The fact that the main character is just clearly a fucking psychopath. I thought like there's clearly some interesting ideas here. I just feel like they weren't particularly executed well, and I think part of the problem has to do with the amount of time that was given. They had one episode to resolve the plot lines that they introduce in that episode, and it just does not give them enough time to set up the mystery. Like, by the time the mystery has been solved, it's like 2 seconds after the mystery was introduced. So it doesn't give time for the show to breathe. And it makes most of the episodes kind of like really like lag behind, sort of. Not lag behind. It makes the episodes sort of they're unsatisfying. Like, when you find out who a killer is at the end of an episode, you don't feel like you took the time and the journey to investigate it. It's just like, here's the crime, here's the killer. Here's the crime, here's the killer. Here's the crime, here's the killer. Like, there's no time for you to like figure it out or collect the clues. You know, there's no investigation in this mystery show. So I think it really fails on that aspect.
Yeah, I think where they did it the best was honestly the first 2 episodes, because like you have 2 episodes kind of like meet these characters and kind of figure out what's going on, like why he was blamed for this and stuff like that, and then like it ends with figuring out who it was. Then you have the other 2-parter, which is the one on the island, where like halfway through the second episode, she's just like, yeah, it was me.
It was me.
And I'm like, okay, and what are you gonna do for the rest of the episode? And then they kind of go into the.
You thought it was Dio, but it was me, Johnny Joestar. Shout out to anyone who actually got that reference.
I did. Did
you? Did you really get the reference, or do you think you got the reference? Because I wasn't referencing JoJo Part 1.
Oh. Then no.
That's what I thought. You will be able to get that joke when they decide to animate JoJo Part 7.
Fair. And I'll have to wait even longer because I need to wait for the English dub because I'm a cock.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, they confirmed Stone Ocean. So JoJo's going to Florida. Hope you look forward to Florida JoJo.
Flojo.
But yeah, so I think there was some really good ideas here. I just feel like the show didn't have time to breathe or explore them. Yes, he's like 50 or something. He's a literal like dad to like a 20-year-old in JoJo. No, in Part 7? No, you're thinking of Part 6, Maid. You're thinking of Part 6. Jotaro's not in Part 7. Anyway. Yeah, they had some really good ideas in the show, but I just feel like they didn't deliver or had time to develop on them. And a lot of it was like really poorly handled. I think I said on the discussion for Dartboard itself that I feel like the moments of brilliance the show does have are specifically from the work, because this is based on the works of Edogawa Rampo. I feel like that is where the moments of brilliance are coming from, is from his original works. And everything else where it fails is just like the show itself failing, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense, yeah.
I made the comparison on my Discord that it's like they did Sherlock Holmes, but they compressed all of it into just the story of like the final situation where Holmes fights Moriarty. Like, it's like they did all of the works of Sherlock Holmes and just shoved it into that one story. And that's kind of what this felt like. Like, I felt like it could have gone places, but it just didn't. And I didn't understand the main character's motivation at the end to, like, kill himself. Like, the guy's just like, hey, we're trying to create a big revolution and, you know, stop all crimes and shit. And the main character's like, oh, I guess I'll just kill myself then. I'm on board with that. And that didn't feel in character. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it did seem kind of like, yeah, like you were about to say, like out of character for him.
It felt out of character because he doesn't care about people. I mean, his fucking teacher got murdered and he's like, whatever. Fuck people. I just want to be entertained. And like, for a character whose whole goal is to be entertained by solving crimes, it seems like if there are no more crimes, his goal is defeated. And if he's dead, he doesn't get to solve any more crimes. Like, he seems content in his own psychopathy throughout the whole series, that the idea of him, like, killing himself to end crime just did not fit with him. Like, I didn't get it.
Yeah, the last 2 episodes, I just, like, that's kind of where I was like, because it didn't feel like a good ending.
Yeah.
I mean, it made sense, like, story-wise, because, like, they've been talking about, like, I can't remember his name, but, like, the guy, like, how he died in, like, the explosion or the fire or whatever. Like, I was like, okay, he's gonna come back at the end of the show, and lo and behold, he did.
Yeah.
I think, like, what I liked more about the show is more so just, like, the character interactions and stuff like that. I love Shadow Man. I don't know why. I just love
dog. Nobody gonna hate on Shadow Man.
I love Shadow Man. He's the best. Like, episode 3 is probably my favorite one, just because, like, they introduce him, and then, like, he's a reoccurring character too, which was really nice.
His whole arc kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, though. Because that fucking the pedophile man never gets his cut. Well, I mean, he gets stabbed at the end, but it just feels like he never really gets his comeuppance. Oh, yeah, that is another fucking thing that bothers me about this show. Japan has a fucking, like, 99% conviction rate. I know that's one of the big plot points in Persona 5, so I'm sure you know that. The game did not make that up. But in this show, it kind of, maybe this is because it was inspired in the 40s. Maybe this was how Japan used to work when when Edogawa Rampo was actually writing. But this is not Japan's current legal system. Like, there's a 99% conviction rate. You bring a court case in front of a Japanese jury, and they've done surveys on this. They believe it is their legal responsibility to convict 100% of the time. The police use very shady tactics to get their confessions. It is a completely corrupt legal system. And I looked into it because the big claim is that it's not necessarily once they go to court, it's that the case will be thrown out due to measures of insanity. So I looked at the odds of a case getting thrown out due to insanity, or being brought to court in insanity. And in America, there's like, I think it's like 1 in 400 court cases go to court under an insanity charge, and of that, only like 1 in 2,000 actually like go through on an insanity charge. That's America. Obviously, this takes place in Japan. So you might ask, okay, how many court cases? And those numbers might be a little off, but the point is, it's very low. It's a lot lower than you think it is. Like, media will portray that, like, oh, I can just get off on insanity. No, it's really hard to get off on insanity. But that's America. What about Japan, where the whole idea is that you can get off on insanity no matter what? You're a crazy person, right? 1 in 500,000. Like, it's 100 times more than America in order to get off on insanity in Japan. So the whole idea, it's like, oh, it's a revolving door. You just say you're crazy in Japan. Nope, you are fucked in Japan. Do not commit a crime in Japan. You are going to jail.
I'll remember that when I go over there.
Yeah, so I just felt like the whole like idea of the revolving door that the show brings up kind of like killed my suspension of disbelief about it. I thought the show could have been great. I thought it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it was more like just like it wasn't as bad as other stuff that we watched. Like, I was like, okay, you know, this is like I can watch this. You know, it's not like. Oh, what is the first one? Magic, whatever.
Magical Warfare.
Yeah, that
Well,
one
I will
sucked.
remind you that last time we calculated that, at least as far as my approvals go, there's a 52% approval rate, and yours is actually slightly higher because you generally like the shows more than I do.
Yeah, most of the times, yeah.
So you're looking at 55 to 60% of hits.
Yeah. Oh god.
It's just the first two were so bad, it's just stuck in your brain. It's the first impression outweighing all of the other results.
Yeah. No, but I thought the show could have benefited from probably like 20 to 24 episodes instead of the 11 they got.
Yeah,
Just
bring this to a
it,
full 24 episodes. You might have
yeah.
something on your hands.
Like even when I saw that it was 11, I was like, that's kind of short. Like, yeah, I feel like even if they had like 3 or 4 more episodes, like there are a couple things could have been resolved and there could have been some more character development. And like it did feel kind of rushed. Like when I saw the episode count was 11, I was like, that's either a good or a bad thing.
That's a bad thing. When a show is under a 12 episode count, it is usually because an episode had to get cut, either for controversy or because they ran out of budget.
Which is weird because this show really delves into some topics. So to have an episode get cut, kind of like, what did they put in?
I'm just saying that's what normally has. There's nothing on Mal about an episode being cut, but it's also citing Wikipedia. So I don't know. I just can't imagine that a studio would be like 11 episodes. So my guess is budget.
Yeah.
The show is made on the dime. Like some frames of this are just still shots for like 3 minutes. So
yeah, like during the first episode, like when they have everyone kind of blacked out too, I thought it was like a neat idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start using like mannequins in like the later episodes for like random people. I was like, did they just not have money to like animate these people? What's going on?
Okay, I think I can actually explain that, because I think what is being done there is, it reminded me a lot of an anime series called Monogatari, which I recommend to everyone who isn't John, because there's no dub version of Monogatari, and they can barely do a subbed version because it's based on a novel series that is designed to be exclusively a novel series, so it's really hard to adapt. So the anime barely does it in Japanese. It's very similar to the style of Monogatari, where they portray the main character, this is very common, just not paying attention to the people around him, which is something that occurs in the novels. The way the anime shows that is that when he's walking through the streets, it's completely fucking empty. Because it's sort of doing like a film trick of like narratively portraying the fact that he doesn't care or like notice other people. But then when other characters who do notice people, you see that there are background characters. So there's also the incest toothbrushing. Monogatari is very good if you can read subtitles. But
Maybe.
it reminded me a lot of like the same techniques that are used in Monogatari. In that regard, where there are people there and they're noticing them, but from the main character's lens, he's just not paying attention to them, which is also where he loses. The main character's like blurring people out is clearly from his perspective based on noticing people he finds interesting. So that's why his class is completely blurred out until one of the killers shows up, and then you notice that she appears to be an actual physical person that he can notice. And he ignores the teacher when she first walks in. She's blurred until he shakes her hand and she notices that she has like self-harm like cuts all across her wrist, and then she pops into existence because she instantly became more interesting. And then when his like friend was like nagging at him about going to class, his friend blurred out as he just like phased his friend out of his head. So it's an interesting trick. I think Seiji Kishi might have worked on a Monogatari or something like that. I think he's worked with Shaft. He hasn't, and I'm fucking wrong. But anyway, yeah, so it's a trick I've seen before. I thought it was a very interesting portrayal. So I'm actually glad you brought that up. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I thought it was super interesting. Like, that's what kind of like hooked me at first. I'm like, okay, this is like a different. I haven't seen this before in any show. So I was like, okay, this is kind of neat. Like the way, like you were saying, like people just kind of are phased out and then they phase in when they interact with the character and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool, like a really cool thing. And then like the mannequins and stuff like later, because they're just unnamed people that have no purpose to the plot. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a trick that I see employed by like Shaft most often as far as it comes to anime, but I've also seen like real Hollywood films, like artsy Hollywood films, do the similar trick of blurring people like that. But so it's definitely one of the like, it's clearly the director working with what he has and trying to show the best like visual, a lot of visual metaphors in this show is what I will say.
Yeah, there is.
So it's clearly the director trying to get his point across with what is very clearly a fucking like handful of dollars and a stick of gum. So in that regard, he managed to piece together, you know, a solid show with a shoestring budget.
I mean, I didn't hate it.
Mm-hmm. I'd have liked to have seen more money and more time.
Yeah, like if they could double the episode count, like do like 22 to 24 episodes, like I feel like that would have.
It would be 24 to 26 with anime.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it would have been. It would. I think it would have made the show exponentially better.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could have got like a 3-episode arc, which is just Shadow Man, I would have been totally fine with that.
Oh, dog. Just you know what? Cut every character. Just Shadow Man. Just Shadow Man. Only Shadow Man.
The Shadow Man spinoff.
Or yeah, just read the books is also a good one. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure all of the outside of the like direction, I'm pretty sure all the moments of brilliance of this came from the books. So
it was solid.
Mm-hmm. That's about all I had to say. You want to give it a score? Which is the thing we do sometimes.
I'm gonna do 6.5.
6 point. No, damn.
Yeah.
I give it a 4 out of 10.
Fair.
All right. So here we go. Let's spin the wheel.
Also, I did put a new fight suggestion in the Discord, by the way.
Oh, did you? Okay. Because, you, first off, you said you were going to add a thing to your Discord about it, and I don't think you ever did, so we're running real low on these suggestions.
Yeah, I didn't. I thought I did.
Yeah, so we're basically Cinnabites versus God Hand, or Dante versus Sora, or I guess whatever yours is. I also thought of one myself, but I didn't want to back-to-back them like that, which is that I'll probably put on there at one point, which is I've also already researched this, Captain America versus Solid Snake.
Ooh, I actually really like that one.
Super Soldier versus Super Soldier, yeah.
Ooh, I like that a lot.
That's all. What I wanted to do is I noticed all of them were just complete stomps. I wanted to create one that's like really close. I wanted to make a debate. Anyway, here we go. Shuffle. 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 Auntie Sack needs a new pair of shoes. Give me something. Give me something. Okay. Alright. Is this what I think it is? Alright. Let's see what this is. Okay. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Alright. I'm okay with this. Alright. Let me get this up on screen now. So this is an interesting idea. Because it's basically it's basically gender swapping a genre.
Go on.
Okay, so here we have it. We have Oharu X Kikanju, or Oharu X Machine Gun. This is a summer 2015 anime done by Brainbase, directed by Hideaki Nakano. This is not Hideaki Anno. This is Hideaki Nakano. I want to be clear. It's not the legend himself, who also did Something called Devil's Line. Servamp. And they did Devil's Line and Servamp. So that's cool. Let's see. The genres are action, comedy, and sports, and it's licensed by Sentai Filmworks, so we might have to dig around for this one. All right. So let's see. Oharu X Kikinanju or Oharu X Machine Gun. Hotaru Tachibana has a strong sense of justice and just cannot help confronting those who choose to perform malicious acts. Furthermore, Hotaru is actually a girl. Oh. Never mind. This wasn't subversive at all. Who disguises herself as a boy. After hearing rumors that her best friend was tricked by this popular host of a local club, Hotaru seeks to punish the evildoer. Upon arriving at the club, she is challenged to a so-called survival game by the host Masamune Matusoka, where the first person hit by the bullet of a toy gun will lose. After a destructive fight, which results in Hotaru's loss, Masamune forces the young boy to join his survival game team named Toy Gun Gun in order to repay the cost of the damages that he has caused inside the club. Although she initially unhappy with this turn of events, Hotaru quickly begins to enjoy what survival games have to offer and is determined to pay off her debt, much to the dismay of Toru Yokimura, the other member of the Toy Gun Gun. As time goes on, Hotaru begins to develop a close friendship with the rest of the team and hopes to take part in realizing the dream of winning the Top Combat Game, TCG. TCG stands for Trading Card Game, for the record. A tournament decided the best survival game team in Japan. Although Hotaru tries her best, there are just two little problems. She is absolutely terrible at the game, and Toy Gun doesn't allow female members on her team. This has an average score of 7.18. Okay, so that is where I'm just going to say Machine Gun.
Sounds interesting.
So, all right, here's the thing about Machine Gun. And I know exactly why I added this one. I have discovered that there is an entire subgenre in shoujo anime, shoujo manga. Although this says it's a shonen. But there's an entire shoujo subgenre about girls shooting each other with guns.
Okay.
I don't know why this subgenre exists, but it totally super exists. And so my experience with this subgenre of survival game shoujo anime, this is shonen, so who knows, is that they're actually usually really entertaining. So I actually have my hopes for this one. Segebu is fucking top tier anime. You want to talk about a main character that's a fucking psycho? Watch Sagegebu. But yeah, so I actually have my hopes for this. I think this could actually be a good one. I've just because I've yet to see a bad anime in this genre. I don't know.
I'm just posting the rules in my thing.
Oh, are you? Yeah. Well, what do you think? What do you think about Machine Gun? How you feeling? Maid thinks it sounds bad.
I mean, we'll see, right? I have to watch it regardless.
Yeah. I like how usually everyone's like, or it could be bad. This could be okay. This is like think first time where I'm like, oh, I have high expectations. Everyone else is like, no, nobody has high. Only you. This is the reverse of every other time we've done this. It's like only I have high expectations. Excuse me. Yeah, I'll probably watch this when I'm done watching Ascendance of a Bookworm.
I will watch it. Is it a movie or a show?
Oh, you are correct. I fucked up. This has 12 episodes.
Okay. So I will watch it probably a couple days before, like normal.
It's licensed by Sentai, so I'm not sure who has it. But you can find it if you look around. But yeah, I think we're good to wrap. This is the longest fucking This is the longest fucking podcast we've ever done.
Yes, it is. So,
Hey.
but yeah, Headshot's back.
Hey, Headshot.
Thanks ever for listening to us talk for almost 4 hours.
It's been fun, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. Surprisingly good turnout for this one.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that. Hope everyone had a good time. Shout out to everyone who stopped by. And anything to add, John?
Oh yeah, happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday, Maid.
Oh no, you.
No. Oh yeah, when are you gonna be live next time, John?
I'm shooting for tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Okay.
Yep.
What you playing?
I don't know yet. I wanted to do maybe a community thing, or maybe we'll play more Bloodborne or Kingdom Hearts. I don't know.
Okay. Wait and see. I'm also aiming to stream tomorrow. I'm hoping to finish off Digital Devil Saga Avatar Tuner 2. Because starting on like Sunday or Monday, I really want to start Phantom Strikers.
Oh yeah. I purposely haven't played it yet, so I wanted to wait for you to start playing it.
Oh, did you? Well, I will probably start doing it on Sunday or Monday. My birthday was 3 days ago, but Sax is this weekend. That is true. I'm being called out. There won't be a stream on Saturday because that is my birthday. So I'm turning 34. Thank you.
No, you're not.
Of course I am. But yeah, that was a good podcast. That lasted forever, but it was fucking worth it. And I one thing I want to aim for next time, maybe try and find a way to cut down the amount of time that Fight Club takes place, because I think Fight Club is really long.
Yeah,
I'd like to get progressively more punchy with it. But I felt like we had to represent Goku the best we could, or people would get mad at us.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Goku fans really, really like Goku.
They do.
With that said, I've been Sacrabalic, your Envoy of Hope.
And I've been John, your Envoy of Food.
Mm-hmm. And the next one should be Saturday the 1st. So look forward to that. See you next time, everyone. Bye-bye.